Sa bawat patak ng ulan, pag-iinagpis mo ang luha. Ang ngalan mong tanging maghihila, ang ngalan mong tanging maghihila. Saglit na sulyak lang sa hula, naubos na ba mga bahala? Naubos na ba mga bahala? Naubos na ba mga bahala? Huwag kang lumingon, huwag kang bumitaw, hindi ka nag-isa. At sa iyong mga minimitik, mga iniisip, hindi ka nag-isa. Wow! Sino hindi pasyong anino? May bukas pa bang darating? May bukas pa rin aabutin. May bukas pa, may bukas pa darating kapatid. Oh, oh, oh. May bukas pa rin darating.
June! Absent na naman ang putragis.
Paul!
JV!
JV!
Pasensya na kayo, wala si June. Tinatamad kasi yung tao. Mag-show. Hindi, ano lang yun. Super busy kasi merong yung yearly camp gathering ng Tabuada Balintawak is happening next weekend. So kaya medyo busy siya. Marami siyang estudyante mag-level testing. So if you can, June, come on in anytime. So Julius, ikaw, kumusta ka naman dyan?
Maayos naman. Kakatapos ko lang. I literally just finished working about an hour ago.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Bro,
Yeah.
ang ganda ng interview natin kay kay Coach Narzo. So, Coach Narzo is in Ohio. Nakapag-connect siya kay Guru
Michael
Malangyaon. Michael Malangyaon, yeah. So I think it was last night that they had a seminar.
And I was just
So-
gonna say, I have to thank, kaya we'll backtrack on their previous episodes. Maraming salamat po, taos puso, kay Coach Narso, at din po kay Sir Mau. Because those are
Yes.
like among the most positive of the last, outside of our congressman, episode, that had the most positive response that I got. Not so much live, but then the DM.
Correct.
I had a
DM,
lot of
correct.
great positive responses from people. So the thing is, I really have to taos pusong pasalamat kay Coach Narso at kay Sir Mau for those
Sir Mau, especially
last
Sir
two
Mau.
episodes. Yeah.
Actually, naguluhan yung mga tao kasi pinaghalo nila yung lower mythology with aswang and whatnot. So, may mga taong gusto yung aswang, may mga ghost stories, may mga tao naman na gusto yung lower mythology. So, it's probably our fault for not getting that straight, but that's okay kasi magkakaroon tayo ng part 2. Saka, by the way, Julius, you have recorded coming up, am I right? That's more
Yeah.
on the what?
Yes, in Halloween, na tawag sa Naunda sa Pilipinas, if you are batang 90s to late 80s, we did a send-up episode that's very reminiscent of Kabayan Noli because we're both from Batangas, he's from Mindoro, right? And I pretend to be him, and it's done in the style of Magandang Gabi Bayan. And it's basically people in FMA that have big name and their paranormal stories. Like people in the FMA community and then yung story ng mga kababalaghan. So watch out for that.
Hindi ako napasama dun Di pa ata ako malaki.
Marami ka masyado storya eh. Dapat sa'yo it's like a
Oo nga
special
eh.
mini-series.
Mauubos yung oras pag ako in-invite ko. Oh, by the way, Julius, again, I appreciate yung kay Coach Narzo, bro. Last minute, ginising pa ata ka namin noon. So, but that was an awesome interview, to be honest with you.
I was nagsisiesta na late na hapon. And you guys, I'm happy actually that I did not show up to watch the fight. Because in Wild Card, there was a girl that was having her pro debut. And they're going to fight in Inglewood Forum. I'm glad I did not go. I had free tickets. Sabi ko, wag na lang kaya. Kasi alam ko magaling naman yung bata. I know she's going to win. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I didn't show up because if I show up, we wouldn't have been able to do that episode. I had more fun doing that than I would if I would have watched that fight.
I had so much fun, bro. But sa mga nanonood, mayroon sa last section na sumakit yung ulo ko. Am I right?
Yes.
So I tried to message JV. Kaso medyo nalito kasi medyo lasing na rin kami ng konti. But I think Master Tony in spirit was there.
I think it was so weird because when we started talking about him, some of his students from Europe messaged me out of the blue, particularly this one guy that trained with him that won a couple of HEMA like world championships and tournaments and all European. He literally messaged me the moment that the episode ended, and he doesn't follow our show because he doesn't speak Tagalog. He doesn't know about June and Paul, and that I'm allied with you guys now.
Well, ako biglang sumakit kaya nagpa-excuse ako kasi I was trying to message you to relay the message, and then ang ginawa ko na lang, so sa mga nanood, nakita niyo bumulong ako kay Coach Narzo, and then nawala yung sakit ng ulo ko. So kayo na bahala makaintindi ko ang ibig sabihin nun. Kasi ako, I'm trying to figure out what I have, basically. So, also ngayon, bro, we've been using the music, his band's music, for the past 3 interviews we had, am I right?
No, yeah, even because the only thing I didn't include it with our Mr. Congressman Monsur. I wanted to because I'm still busy making our trailer, and we do have to thank him. Like, if you guys are watch our show in YouTube instead of Facebook, that's that awesome music that you're hearing, and they're one of the first Filipino goth rock bands. They're one of the pioneers. And with no further ado, I want to have him in now.
Yeah. Go ahead, bring him in, bro.
So-
I want to hear his music, actually.
We'll hear it in the middle, right? Not right now. In the middle of
Not
the,
right now. Not right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Now that you will sing, Julius, are you a singer?
No.
No. Ako din eh.
Doi, mute kita. Hello, Doi.
Good
Hello.
evening, kamusta po? Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, Pilipinas.
Oh, thanks for having me. Nako. Ang masaya to.
Pressure.
Oo nga, bagong ano eh. Pero magkape muna.
So Doi, yung mga fans mo, have yung si Commander share it to your band and the people, fans in both the Philippines and here in the US of your band and the goth rock scene. In the June and Paul show wall, you'll see it there, our live interview right now.
Okay.
For those people that don't know, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, in the Philippines, there's a certain genre of music that is really big. Yung tinatawag na new wave at saka yung goth rock. Sa
Yeah.
Pilipinas, yung mga bata ngayon, even though they're into like K-pop and all that, the big following in music is not necessarily R&B and these pop songs. That's what you see in the famous 103.5, the Wish FM. My sister's been in the Wish bus, by the way, here in the
cool.
US.
Oh.
Your sister sings?
My sister's been in the Wish thing. She was did a panel for the Wish bus. She had an entire episode for her. But sa Pilipinas, yun ang pagkakaalam ng tao. But really, the Filipinos, like, we have like this big subgenre music with lots of fans. Like the grunge scene, the goth rock scene, the new wave scene was huge in the Philippines, right? So for a certain generation, yun ang paborito nilang musika. Punkista at rockista sila. Hindi mga K-pop at saka pop, right? And so if you were part of that scene like I was when I was like, basically I left the Philippines right around the time when we were going to clubs when I was like 12, 13, right? So yung mga kuya ko, they were listening to that and that influenced my taste in music.
Yeah, that's the
You
new
were-
wave.
If you were part of that scene, like in the 90s, kung batang 90s ka, o kaya yung kuya at ate mo listening to that, isa sila sa mga band, itong ating guest ngayon, si Doi.
It's actually, I mean, I'm not to correct you, but the new age, whatever, is mid 80s. It's
Right.
starting already. So
Right. So yung parang generation after that, yun yung
Yeah.
nakagusto no mga early na grunge, yung mga goth rock, yung Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Ako nakita ko na si Peter Murphy recently. Supposedly ang ating kasama si Doi na meet na rin, like a legend in that kind of scene. So I'm really looking forward to this, like, because if you all grew up listening to the Dawn and that whole thing, you would really love our interview for tonight. And again, this show of ours is not just a FMA centric episode. Kaya namin ginawa ito para matutunan natin ang pagkatao ng aming interviewee, to really
Yep.
get to know them. Because the thing is, pabalik
sino
na
si
kami.
Doi? Sino ang
Sino si Doi?
ano ang
Kasi-
band nila,
Yeah, kasi kami, pabalik na kami. Yung karunungan sa larong arnis.
Oy, ikaw lang yun. Hindi ako bumabalik.
Hindi, it's just
Joke lang,
secondary
joke
to
lang.
us. What's important is that we get to know the people, right? So, Doi, introduce mo yung sarili mo. Iano mo natin ang kung saan ka nagsimula sa musika and all that. This is your origin story. Kaya nga, that's my sister's first album. So, tell us about your origin story.
Okay, thanks for having me. Nako, nothing really much talaga. Nako, it's nothing really special or anything like that. Pero well, sa Philippines, yung family ko is originally from Bacolod and Iloilo, no? So when I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s. Tapos doon talaga kami nag-start. But yung kuya ko, my brother, he was really into the arts and the music. He was way older than me, kuya ko, of course, obviously kuya nga, no? So he had a friend when I was back in the 80s, nagdala ng mixtape, no? And my brother really liked a lot of like bands like The Cure, mga ganyan. tapos mga 80s, mga tinatawag nga nila new wave, di ba? So he played a lot of those stuff doon when I was a kid, and because of that, na-influence ako na yung musical taste ko doon na-develop yung ganon. Tapos yung mixtape na ito, malaking bagay yun dahil dito medyo nag-form yung preferences ko sa music. But with that said, yung mother ko, she Julius, okay lang ba mag-Tagalog o gusto mo ba mag-mix ako ng English-Tagalog o
That's perfectly fine with us.
Ah.
Whatever you feel
Tagalog,
comfortable.
Taglish, bahala ka.
Taglish. Yeah,
Okay, kasi
ikaw
baka may
bahala.
mga baka may mga audiences tayo na they don't speak our ang wika natin, so baka ayoko naman baka ma-isolate sila, you know. So
Taglish,
what would
pwedeng Taglish.
Yeah, we can make
Is
it Taglish. It's fine.
okay lang. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool. So well, basically ganun nga. So yung kapatid ko, yung mother ko, she was she's still with us. So she is a classical pianist, no? So I was very blessed to wake up daily listening to her play the piano. So classical music every morning. So medyo naswertean tayo. So malaking influence din siya. Bakit medyo napunta tayo sa music or sa arts, no, sa creatives, so to speak. So my mother was a big influence for me for my building blocks when it comes to music and art and that kind of world. So now with that said, the 80s comes in and I was a kid, a preteen, and then I grew up in that era. And my brother was so heavily into that, he brought in a lot of this what they would call new wave music or post-punk music and bands like The Cure. And then I got exposed to bands like Bauhaus and all this kind of stuff. And especially the mixtape brought by one of his good friends. So
Tanong ko lang, as a nerd, time out lang sandali.
yeah.
As a
Sure.
fellow nerd,
Oo.
alam mo ba yung album na The Flag, yung The Wire, yung Pink Flag? Did you ever listen
Yung
to
Wire
that?
na banda?
Oo.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar. I know the Wire, of course. I'm not yung
Pero
Wire.
naalala mo
but
yung album na may pink flag?
I think familiar. Yeah. I think I've seen it somewhere. Yeah. Pero hindi ako avid talaga na naging
Pakinggan mo yun. There are some
Ganda.
sounds that you
Wire.
guys remind kasi meron kayong pagka Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah.
May mga
Post-punk sila eh.
pterodactyl sound kayo na parang ang ginagamit parang flute pala eh. It's just so cool.
Oh, yeah. Very experimental kasi yung lalo ng 80s, di ba? Like they were very experimental with their music coming out of punk rock, which was rudimental. The 3-chord blocky playing. That's how the usual punk bands that came out in the late 70s they played like heavy and angry. And a lot of these punk bands became like what we would call today the post-punk bands, or they became goth rock or gothic bands. Goth bands. That term wasn't even actually used a lot back then. So parang post-punk sila, parang ganun, after punk, So ganun naging parang sound, and I believe everybody wanted to sound different from each other, something new, fresh. And so I was lucky enough to get exposed to that kind of music. And that mixtape was a big thing too. And I think that was from XB102. So XB102 was one of these legendary radio stations back in the Philippines in the 80s. I think they got shut down before by the government or something, but they were playing a lot of punk music and a lot of what they would call new wave or post-punk music and at that time. And I was exposed to a lot of those bands like Bauhaus and all this kind of stuff, and the Smiths, stuff like that, really cool stuff, Sister Mercy, Mission. And then when I got a bit older, medyo makulit kasi ako nung bata eh. So I got expelled from a lot of schools sa amin, unfortunately, no? Kasi medyo brat kasi ako eh nung bata ako eh. So although my father was very strict din, very firm, medyo militaristic yung papa ko, and he was very but bunso, I was the youngest, so I kind of got away with a couple of things that I probably shouldn't have. So I got expelled in most of the schools in Bacolod, no, in grade school, and then I landed in high school. When I hit high school, thankfully I graduated grade school. My parents were so happy. And then I got into high school. So medyo napasukan kong school was you know, it was like a reformatory school in high school in some way, in some sort. I really enjoyed it there. And I unfortunately, again, when I was like teenager, you know how it is, you know, you're young and you know, not very bright sometimes. Napasali naman ako sa group naman na yun, medyo maraming nangyaring kaguluhan din. And long story short, it's like I got expelled again. You know, I got expelled and got into a couple of issues in the street. You know, nagkaroon ng mga rumble.
Basta
yung mga
gulero ka
ganun.
pala.
No, hindi naman. Hindi ganoon. Hindi naman. Hindi sa ganoon. Napasama lang sa mga kaibigan, sa mga tropa, you know. But me personally, gusto ko music lang, ganoon. Kaso lang, you know, I kind of lost my way. And but you know, I'm still good friends with many of them, and it is what it is. Pero you know, buti na lang buhay pa tayo, no? So but my father was dikit ko lang sa martial arts, no? So I got stabbed actually nung bata ako. Really younger, when I was like kinder prep or something. Nasaksak ako ng lapis. I got stabbed by a pencil right in the face. And
Normal yan.
yeah, I know. Buti na,
Normal sa
by few-
Pilipinas.
Oh, yeah, normal. Grabe. It's so sad. No, buti I didn't get blind because it missed my eye for like half an inch. So natamaan akong ganun. I got stabbed in the face. So, wow.
Anong age ka nun? Anong
When I
ano?
was kinder or prep,
Kinder, yeah.
prep. Oo, nasaksak ko my first first stare down with violence.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
So,
Anyways.
so that's normal. Like
It's
kids
normal,
in
yeah,
kindergarten
so-
get stabbed in the face.
Sadly, you know,
yeah.
in Philippines, ganun eh. Parang that's like how, you know, well, I'll just speak for myself, pero the environment's a bit different sometimes, you know, stuff like that. So, ganun nangyari. And then, you know, of course, ang dad ko, military guy, street guy. So, medyo, dad ko, astig,
Galit.
no?
Yeah,
Pops
astig,
ko.
yeah.
So, syempre, mahal ko dad ko. He was very, very awesome dad. Very great dad. Pero he was very disciplinarian, strict. Medyo strict siya. Hindi siya yung, alam mo naman yung mga Asian dads or mga Pinoy na dads. Minsan yung hindi mo lang mahag o hinahag niya ako palagi. So, you know, but andun pa rin, you know where you stand with him. So umuwi ako, ganon. So umiyak ako, syempre, di ba? You know, nasaksak ko. Of course, my mom, alam mo yung nanay, di ba? The mother, you know, mom ko, it's like, oh my God, you know, syempre, di ba? You know, sinishelter and kinakover. Tapos I had to talk to my dad sa nangyari. So papa ko, nandun ako pulang. Ano nangyari? Sabi niya ganun. Sabi ko, napaaway anak mo, ganyan. Sabi ko, ganun ba? And sabi ko, ano ba nangyari? Sabi ko, nasaksak ako ng lapis, ng ganun.
Lapis.
So tatay ko, ganun ba? Parang ganun. So syempre umiyak ako, di ba? So I was a kid, you know, so I cried. And he's like, he just looks at me and says, never come back here na umiyak ka ng ganyan ulit, Sabi sa akin ganun. Sabi ko, okay. Sabi niya, bukas pakilala kita sa Koreano kong barkada. Said, I'm gonna introduce you to my-"
nag-training ka? Anong tinraining mo?
Yung papa ko kasi arnisador din eh. And a lot of my families they fought in the war. Like they were arnis guys, you know, lolo ko, sa mother side, father side, no. So they were old. I hated that, to be honest. No offense, sorry guys.
No. Okay lang yun.
Sorry, I didn't like it at all, no. Parang napunta lang, nalagay ako dun dahil it was a necessity, no, because of the environment. And yung dad ko, he said, you know, well, I'll introduce you to my Korean best friend. His drinking buddy was a Korean guy. So I met him, Mr. Kim. I'll never forget, my first teacher, you know, and it was Taekwondo yun. So see, Mr. Kim, he was sent by the Korean government to actually teach and spread Taekwondo in the Philippines. So medyo matigas siya. Mr. Kim and Mr. Pak, those are my two first Korean teachers. I was like 6 or 7. So I trained in Taekwondo and I was the smallest guy. Mas maliit pa yung yung gi ko. My gi was bigger than me. So mas maliit ako sa gi ko. Nako, lagpas yung gi ko noon. So I was the youngest guy in there. Pinatrain ako ng papa ko and he introduced me to Mr. Kim and I was like, oh, medyo takot ako kasi nung nakita ko kamay niya, yung kamao niya, nakita ko yung fist niya. I looked at his fist and holy shit, dude, his fist, it was all black and flattened, you know, like, damn. I'm like, holy. Pero he was very cool. He's a nice guy, solid siya. And then he had me in the class. He accepted me. And man, did I get a beating down there. They would walk around with sticks, you know, and talagang slick to mga Korean, magtuturo, namamalo sila, you know, and talagang dun, nag-train ako, and I had to train like three times, 4 times a week. My dad would come in, bring me and my brother. Talagang training kami sa taekwondo, was really hard. And then one day, my dad said, alam mo, maganda rin ginagawang taekwondo, ganun. So sabi niya, pero alam mo, kulang pa yan eh. Sabi sa akin ganun. Sabi ko, ganun ba? So akala ko, ang lupit ko na eh. Nagpa-flying kick na ako eh. So sabi ko, kaya ko na itong mga bullies sa school, no? Sabi ko, I can now protect myself, no? Ganun. Hopefully not become a bully myself kasi brat din ako eh. So I was quite confident na. But my dad said, wag ka masyadong maangas, you know. Said don't be too confident. That's what my dad said, you know. You don't know anything yet, you know. And I'm like, oh really? Sabi ko, well, what else is to know? He said, if you really want to survive the streets, sabi niya, pinakita niya kamay niya, ganun sa akin. Sabi niya, you see this? Nakita ko may tama airpods ko dito, ang haba ng, he has a big like a big scar over here. And I said, wow, yeah, Dad. Syempre, I was still young, I was still a kid. I said, Dad, wow, what's that? Looks pretty painful. Said, I got into a fight in Batangas, you know. I said, and I got stabbed with a real knife. I said, oh shit. He said, yeah, and I'll tell you something. He said, without our art. I said, we have an art. He said, without our art, I'll tell you right now, you won't be born, man. And I'm like, wow. He said, yeah, because what happened was we were drinking buddies and stuff, you know, and sometimes, alam mo naman, minsan sa atin sa Philippines, medyo tribalistic mga tao, you know, like they were a set of group of guys from Bacolod or Iloilo, like Ilonggo people, you know, and then they go nagdadayo sila, and there's a bunch of guys from Batangas, you know, they drink and over women, and it sometimes gets really like very childish, you know, and tinginan, nakainom, they're drunk and all that, and there was a brawl that happened, and he told me, yeah, then he said the guy pulled out a knife and he stabbed me, and he said I was able to block it, you know, I was able to jam it, even though I was like drunk. He said the thing was when he pulled the knife, it was a double blade, balisong.
Ooh, balisong.
And yeah, it clipped him. It clipped my dad. He said, "Damn, that thing's sharp. You gotta be careful with those things." And I got really cut really bad. He said from that, but thanks to arnis, you know, and it saved my life. And now you're born. You know, and he showed me his other arm, and he said, so you see this mark here? And I said, oh yeah, what's that about? And he's like, oh, this is the iron, you know, that your mom used on me. When he caught him with his chicks, you know. So my mom used an iron on my dad's hand. He was able to block it. He said, good thing I blocked it. Like shit, the thing went through, you know, and yeah, it burnt it through him. And so he had me train arnis, you know. And man, I really don't like it. It was way too much for me. They were using in Bacolod, they were using kamagong, you know, sticks. And bro, the teachers there in Philippines are not like here. I mean, and the teachers are great and everything. It's really nice. Ang galing actually, malupit mga teachers here sa atin, in my experience, are very, very good. But they have like a system how they teach. You know, like they know, like, okay, this is how you do it, and like, you know, you can, all right, so this is why you do it. This is why you know, you block it this way, this way. Kung mga may explanation ganun. Yung mga teacher ko doon sa Pilipinas, hindi. Sangay, block it, just do what I say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Follow. Don't even ask, right? And like one time I tried to block it, dude. Yung isang teacher ko, uncle ko din siya, relative siya ng dad ko, pero sa NBI siya. So he's like a police, he's a cop, you know, it's like an undercover cop. Parang ganon. So medyo what he does is like, you know, they they go against like real yung mga terrorists, yung mga ganon, yung mga NBI, parang FBI natin dito, di ba, sa States. So medyo siya, he's a nice guy, but you know, you could tell like the guy's been around. So sabi dad ko, punta ka dun sa pinsan ko, sa uncle ko, siya magtuturo sa'yo ng arnis, ganito, ganyan. Eh sabi ko, nako, ayoko na sana ng arnis. Kasi parang masakit eh, di ba?
Yeah, pag kahit taekwondo, di ka tatamaan.
Oo.
Naalis ka na, sparring ka.
Yeah.
So, pag arnis, titirahin ka talaga.
Oo. Sabi ko, akala ko na magaling na ako noon eh. Kasi, but I forgot to say, medyo na fast forward ako pala. So, nung pumasok ako grade school sa isang school in Bacolod, so I think I was like 4th, 5th grade. So siguro mga 10 na ako nito, mga 10, 11, gano'n, di ba? Iniiwasan ko na yung arnis, gano'n. Iniiwasan ko talaga. Kasi papa ko...
Magaling ka pala umilag.
Oo, kasi pinipilit ako ng dad ko, di ba? So papa ko naman, tamad naman siya magturo. Oo. So taekwondo lang muna ako, gano'n, di ba? Mga ganyan. So tapos...
Kung nag-taekwondo ka, nakasama mo ba si Monsur?
Ay, idol ko yan. Actually, matanda si Mansur nung time na yan, si Mansur, talagang sikat na siya noon, talagang artista siya talaga na he was huge na. Oh, before he even became an actor actually. Idol ko na siya noon kasi we were kids and he was already national team siya, taekwondo, national
Yeah,
team.
national
Kasama
team.
niya may isa siya kasama, dalawa sila. Dalawa sila na magaling na national team na taekwondo.
So ibang Koreano yung pinag-aral, sa ibang Korean school ka nagpunta, hindi doon sa pinuntahan ni Monsur.
No. Kasi si Mansur nasa Manila na siya noon.
Oo nga pala,
Oh,
Manila.
yeah.
So,
He was. But I believe parang Ilonggo rin natas originally sila Mansur talaga. I think from Bacolod din sila eh. I can be wrong ha.
yes,
Baka mali rin
tama,
ako.
tama.
Yeah,
I think
taga
so.
Bacolod. Yeah.
Tama ba? Yeah. So parang
Hmm.
ganun sinabi. Yeah. I don't know him personally, but we have friends in between. Pero syempre idol natin 'yon.
Sayang, Doy. Nagpasipa ka sana kay Monsur.
Huwag naman.
Para usapan natin ngayon. Pinadya ka na ko ni Monsur, tulog ako.
Oo. Ako, wag naman sana. Autograph.
Oh, by
Hey,
the
yeah.
way, teka muna, bago mo ituloy, Doy. Here's our lazy friend,
Oh.
June, who's driving home.
Oh, kamusta? Hi, Jun.
Musta na? Sorry na late kasi may klase pa ako and na late kasi we're all prepping for our Berlin Talk camp next week kaya
Oh, Berlin
na late
Talk.
ako pag ano eh. Yeah,
Sorry.
kaya ngayon kaya nasa nakasalsada pero I was like, man, I couldn't miss this interview. Sabi ko sa background pa lang, sabi ko this is gonna be interesting. Sa background mo.
Nako, maraming salamat. Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, Jun. Mukhang nagda-drive.
Yeah.
Mukhang nagda-drive pa tayo dyan. Hinay-hinay
Yan,
na.
nagdadrive.
Tapos
Pa si
pag ano,
June.
pag-
Huwag kang mag-alala, si June kasi mga ano yan, love songs mga gusto niyan eh.
Panalo. Mga pang-chicks.
Joke lang, June.
Oo.
Oh, by the way,
Oo.
just to Reno from Reno is watching the show. Kumusta dyan, Reno? Joe Marie,
Hi.
Ison, how are you?
Hello.
Maya De La Torre, hey Maya, Maria, sorry Maria.
Yeah.
GM Rene Tongson is also watching,
Oh.
and also Javier Monroy. He just said he's a fellow goth himself.
Oh,
So
hi.
he used to
Magandang gabi po.
go
Nice
to
to meet
a Neo club in north side of Chicago. I used to go there also.
Nice, cool. Di pa ako nakapunta Chicago. Oh, pero I heard
pag
it's really
nagpunta
nice.
ka,
That club is
yeah.
like a punk goth club.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So karamihan nandun. Si
Astig.
Radman dati, nakalimutan ko na yung club,
Oh.
but it's in Chicago. I used to bounce in his club too. But
Nako.
yeah,
Katakot.
mga industrial music naman yun.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Iba klase.
Oo.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, there's a China club. There's, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the club.
That's the one connection that the three of us share in common, because even though I'm a California boy, I worked in the Midwest for a long time, particularly in Bloomington, which is about 90 minutes away from Chicago, about an hour from Chicago.
Malapit lang pala. Yeah.
Kala
Maganda
ko,
He's
naman.
in Bloomington. I'm Glendale Heights.
Yeah.
So we used to drive all the way down to the city.
Kala mo, Julius, sasabihin mo, that's one thing we have in common. We all like strip clubs. Kasi club ang inyong pinapag-usapan eh.
Munti ka na.
Sabi ko, mabubuking tayo kay Julius
Oo.
dito.
Nako.
Vix, kasi may yung
Tay. Meron kayo white flower eh. Sana masakit na yung mga arthritis. Nako.
Okay, balik tayo doon sa story mo.
Ay.
Pasensya na.
Okay lang,
I just
hindi,
want to
ayos
read the
lang,
comments
ayos lang.
on our
Oo naman.
viewers.
No problem.
Go ahead, sir. Continue.
Sige. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, nasa Bacolod pa tayo sa I was still a kid, no? So, tapos, I did the taekwondo thing kasi medyo, I got stabbed in the face with another kid stabbed me in the face with a pencil, unfortunately. So, yun yung first experience natin sa ganyan. It's very sad nangyari, but it is what it is. Anyhow, moving forward, my dad had me train under his best friend na Korean na pinadala from Korea to teach taekwondo over down in the Philippines by the Korean government, Mr. Kim and Mr. Pak, and I trained a lot there. And then my dad said one day, "Oh, well, you know what? You should do more than just that. That's good that you know that, but in the street, kailangan medyo marunong ka how to actually, have an art that actually, not even an art, survival skill that it has been proven, you know, and it helped me personally, sabi ng dad ko, and this is ang arnis, no, and it's our own art. But I said, okay, dad, pero dad, tuturuan mo ba ako ganyan? Eh, tatay ko naman, ayaw naman mga ganyan-ganyan. Eh, pops ko naman, alam mo yun, medyo mahilig din sa mga chicks eh. So, sabi niya, okay lang, maghanap ko lang tayo ng ano, yung uncle mga ta, mas magaling yan. Yan na lang magtuturo sa'yo, ganyan. Basic lang alam ko eh. Sabi ko, sige, maybe next time, ganyan. So, sabi ko, yung the way he said it, parang masakit ah. Sabi ko, mga masakit yan ah. Sabi niya, may mga kahoy ata to, ganyan. Sabi ko, okay, so, after that, fast forward a bit more, I was like 10 years old na, mga ganon, mga 10 ata, 11, ganyan. So I'm still doing the taekwondo thing. As a matter of fact, so I was doing taekwondo and then I went to this grade school, no, kasi na-expel nga ako. So thankfully, natanggap ako sa isang grade school na it's actually owned by, naging best friend ko yung anak na may-ari ng grade school. But this grade school, medyo okay siya kasi may martial arts class. Yun yung ano namin, that's our gym. No? That's our PE natin, PE. Ayun, gym natin. So our gym was martial arts, and then I meet a teacher, right? So medyo excited ako kasi nagta-taekwondo ako. So I do taekwondo, so I'm kind of confident, right? So I got over like, okay, it's like a martial arts class, so you're gonna meet your sensei, your teacher, right? So the guy, he walks in, Mr. Alex, hindi ko makalimutan yan, Mr. Alex. So pasok siya, mukhang solid to ah. So he goes in, Mr. Alex, man, and he was like, he never smiles or anything, dude. I'm like, bro, alam mo yun, parang hindi siya happy na tao. Alam mo yun, parang nakatakot eh. Strict na tao talaga. I mean, very serious guy, you know, never really like, you know, smiles. I never saw him smile, by the way. And
Bato-bato ba ang itsura? Bato-bato?
he's not like a muscled guy, but he's like a lean, parang Bruce Lee, parang ganon
Parang
siya.
Bruce Lee, yeah.
Parang Bruce Lee. Yeah, like Bruce Lee, like that's how he's built. And he says, oh shit, so he's gonna teach us martial arts. So ako naman, I'm kind of confident kasi I do taekwondo, di ba? So kaya ko to. Then he was teaching karate, right? So we're gonna learn karate. And I'm like, karate, parang taekwondo na rin yun. Kaya ko yan. I can do that. And also on top of that, we're gonna do arnis. Like, oh my God, ito ata sinasabi ng tatay ko. So sabi niya, oh ito, may dala siya mga kahoy tsaka mga kutsi. You know, he got the sticks. And then he got yung dagger, di ba? Yung kahoy na dagger. Goddamn, dude. Sabi ko, hinawakan ko yung stick. Puta, mabigat nito. Oh, sorry, excuse my French, I'm sorry. Sabi ko, medyo mabigat. Sabi ko, pare, mabigat to ah. Sabi ko, hindi ko sabi ko pare sa kanya. I don't really like, you know, I was very respectful when I talked to him. Like, but in my head, you know, I'm just like saying, damn, dude, what kind of stick is this? And then nakita ko, puta kamagwang, man. That's my first time like seeing kamagwang sticks. Like, God damn, dude, this is heavy, dude. Shit, ito ba? Ito, di ba tayo masasaktan nito? Sabi ko, ito bang ginagamit niya? Sabi niya, okay, hawakan niyo na yan, ganyan. So, ano siya, very straightforward siya magturo, ganun. Actually, the way he teaches is like, man, alam mo yun yung, sabi niya, ito, hawakan mo yung kahoy. He said, hold the stick, right? So I held the stick. He said, hawakan mo yung kahoy. And then I held the stick, right? So sabi niya, block this. Puta, pinalo niya ako agad ng number 1. Dude, bro, so parang medyo nakailag ako konti, ganun. Sabi niya, why are you like, you know, ano yan? Why are you like, parang don't
Kala ko you're gonna block with your face.
Oh, ito nga nangyari. So medyo nailagan ko, nakailag ako ganon. Sabi niya, ano yan? Anong klaseng ano yan? Ganyan. Sabi niya, anong klaseng, what is that? Like, parang hina. Sabi niya, parang, you know, don't be weak or something like that. He was very strict, guys. I said, ano ba to? So he said, this is how you block it. Ganyan. So 1, di ba? Yung 1, ganyan. So, sige. Sabi ko, okay, let's try it again. Sabi niya, ganyan. Okay, stand there. Don't move. Bam! Pagpalo niya ganun sa akin, sinangga ko yung tinuro niya. Ang problem niyan, pag sangga ko ganun, bumalik sa akin yung kahoy kasi lakas yung pumalo eh. Oh shit, dude. 2 sticks went straight into my face. Bam! Bro, right then and there, alam ko agad ayoko ng arnis talaga. Sabi ko, tangina, ayoko ng dude, this guy. Sabi ko, parang gusto ko magalit eh, pero syempre hindi ko
Gusto
sabi.
bumawi.
Yeah. Sa ulo ko lang eh, kinain ko talaga. Bro, sabi ko, pero syempre, nasa Pilipinas, you know, you can't really like say anything, right? I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, alam mo ba't natamaan ka? Tanga-tanga kasi, sabi niya. Kasi mahina yung pag-block mo, hindi ka marunong. Ganun. Alam mo yung puro sa atin kasi Philippines, di ba? Yung style sa Philippines, the way they teach. Not that
they're very savage.
Love and respect.
Yeah,
diba,
But it's
syempre.
very
love and
savagery.
respect.
It's savagery. Yeah.
Oo, parang walang
Yeah.
kindness. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Parang, dude, I mean like, I'm freaking 10 here, man. Like, calm down. Like they take it so seriously. But ang galing ng mga, I'm not saying magaling, and I respect, and I love the guy says a bit like savage nga talaga, like you said, because one time he invited me to, he said, you guys, here's some tickets. I want you guys to see how I fight. He actually competes sa yung mga karate tsaka tang sudo. So sa Philippines, sa Bacolod, especially in our place, like every weekend, parang lahat ng mga martial arts school nakikita doon, parang UFC siya, pero parang striking lang ganon. Nakikita sila doon sa gym ng basketball court, parang ganon. So may martial arts gathering ganon, so sparring lang, yung bakbakan lang talaga ganon. Pero striking lang, no grappling.
So
I
tanong lang,
went.
nung lumalaki ka, you were around that, even yung mga more to the FMA community, the more unknown styles, yung mga Wido Kaburata, you saw that when you were growing up as a kid in Bacolod
Wido
area, right?
Kaburata. I'm not familiar with that martial art. Martial art ba yan? School?
Oh no, arnis, yeah.
Oh, arnis ba yan? Oh, yeah, sorry. Hindi ko narinig yung anong. Pero arnis and martial arts in general, yeah. Kasi mahilig yung father ko, mahilig talaga sa martial arts din. So, he was an arnis guy, di ba? So, yeah, and that's what happened. I got a tickets, we went to the show, and my teacher was there, right? So, nagsa-stretching na siya, ganon. Kasi he does karate, right? So, he taught us karate. So, we also know, I learned karate from him. And damn, nananapak talaga yan. Damn, dude. He would drill that punch like, bro, he doesn't care if you like, Mr. Alex, if Sensei, if you hear me. I'm just, of course, it's changed na siguro. Baka pag umuwi ang Pilipinas, magulpi tayo dyan eh. So, I mean, respect lang, So,
Walang yata. Ano sabi mo doon?
nagdidibdib. Si Mr. Alex, Sensei Alex, nagdidibdib talaga eh. Kahit 11, 12 po, wala siyang pakialam. Talagang, bam, ganyan magsuntok. Ganyan. Alam mo yun, talagang ganong klaseng teacher. Talagang tinatamaan ka talaga. So, sabi niya, okay, punta ka doon sa show. So, punta ako doon. So, syempre excited ako, teacher ko, di ba? So, syempre, babata ako eh. Wow, excited ako. Nakita ko yung sensei ko, Tapos, nagsa-stretching na siya doon. Tapos, oh, sensei, dito na kami ha. Sabi niya, oh, okay, buti, dumating ka. Sige, doon muna kayo. Nag-meditate pa daw siya. Ganyan, ready siya. So, okay, sige. So, the time came nung lumaban sila, karate. Parang tangsudo yung kalaban niya, ganun. Karate siya, parang ganun. Bakbakan sila. So mukhang magaling yung kalaban niya. Sabi ko, tangina, mukhang dehado to si Sensei ah. Sabi ko, damn. So syempre, idol ko siya, di ba? So excited ako, pero sabi ko, mukhang natatalo yung teacher ko ah, parang ganun. Ang ginagawa niya, kinukuha niya, tapos inaano niya, nagtatapo yung mga uchimata. Alam mo yung mga judo na.
Mga judo na tapon, yeah.
Judoka rin siya eh. I forgot to mention, judoka din yung teacher ko, si Sensei si Sensei Alex. So he was a judoka also. So, yun, ginujudo niya, baliktad yung tao sa kanya, pinagalitan siya. Sinigawan siya dun sa microphone. If you do that one more time, tanggal yan.
Bawal.
Striking one, dito grappling, sabi niya, wag mong gawin yan, ganyan. So, na-frustrate siya, ginagawa niya pa rin, ayun, tanggal siya tuloy. Tinanggal siya, kaya, so parang, siyempre, teacher ko, di ba? Parang, daya, ganyan. Sabi niya, no, you're disqualified. They kicked him out of, he lost. Like, goddamn, so, now, papauwi na kami. Hindi ko alam kung kapaalam ako. Hindi, parang natatakot ako. Bad mood eh. Sabi ko, sir, alis na kami. So, he lost the whole fight. And then, but still, the next day we saw him, parang wala nangyari. Ganon. Sabi niya, arnis. So, parang, yun, arnis na naman kami. Ganyan, paluan talaga. Tinatamaan yung mga kamay namin. Grabe, I hated it so much, man. I did not like it. I disliked it so much. Talagang, tapos hindi ko talaga nagustuhan. So after which, fast forward, tapos nangyari nun, after that, napasali, nung naging high school ako. So, Bacolod pa rin kami. Nasa Bacolod pa rin ako nun. So I think I was like, like 13 or something like that, Tapos, medyo napasama ako sa mga, uy, sabihin nyo lang pag nabobore na kayo ah.
Hindi. Ang ganda ng mga kwento mo.
Hindi pa ako nagkwento ng kwento.
Okay lang yan.
Oh, yeah. So medyo ang alayo, no? Andun pa tayo sa Bacolod, hindi pa tayo dumating sa Manila eh. So ang dami nangyari kasi sa Bacolod eh. So after which I fast forward, nag-high school ako. So, in the family, internally, parang my parents ko medyo may mga hindi na sila nagkakasundo, tapos medyo nagkaroon sila ng in a way they were drifting apart, so at home everybody was like drifting apart, if I may. So then I was left with like music. So what accompanied me was yung palagi nandun para sa akin in that sense, I mean, of course, my parents were always, they provided, they did everything, and and all respect and love to my parents, definitely. But of course, as individuals, they had their own thing going on, their own problems, their own issues. So I was left on my own devices in that sense. So I only had music, and then I had martial arts, and I had to kind of, kasi ang bagal ng oras sa Bacolod eh. Masarap actually sa Bacolod, pero it's very slow. And I was left on my own. So medyo napasama ako sa mga kaibigan, ganon, sa mga tropa, maybe I drifted towards that way. And when I was in high school, so nakagraduate ako ng grade school. So great. High school ako in Bacolod, and then napasama ako sa mga mga groups, no, sa mga fraternity, ganon. Napasama ako sa mga ganon, fraternity, sa group. So yun, maraming nangyari, maraming trouble din, ganon. So long story short, ang daming rambulan din, ganyan. So long story short, na-expel ako sa school, natanggal na naman ako sa high school. I got expelled. Damn.
Basta gulero ka talaga.
No, hindi naman sa ganon, pero napasama lang ako sa tropa, parang ganon. Pero doon, alam mo yun, doon ko nakita na kailangan marunong ka mag-arnis din, no? Katakot pala yung mga tong away ng mga to, kasi iba yung, alam mo yun, iba yung away sa kanila, hindi yung suntukan eh. Tangina na talagang yung, alam mo yun, may mga pana pa, may mga pucha. Alam mo, muntik na ako matamaan ng pana eh.
Expert ako dyan.
Naku, katakot.
May mga tubo pa yan. Tubo.
Yeah. May mga
babatuhin ka naman.
Oo, pillbox pa eh. Tsaka may
pillbox, correct.
Expert ako dyan sa tactical pana na yan. I have mine still. Yeah. Yeah, that's dangerous stuff, man. I almost got hit by that in the throat. Muntikan talaga ako dyan kasi makasama ko talagang mga solid din, yung mga street kids eh. Yung mga kasama ko, yung mga tanbay. Talagang naging mga tropa ko, yung mga brad ko, mga tanbay din yung iba eh. Tapos talagang palaban talaga. Talagang it's scary, no? Kasi nung dumating yung frat sa amin sa Bacolod, parang late na siya dumating. Hindi katulad ng kung ano yung time sa Manila, yung mga 70s, 80s, mainit yung mga fraternity doon, di ba? Yung nagkakapatayan talaga doon. So nung dumating sa amin, mga early 90s, ganun, late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, something like that. No? I can be wrong. But I'm just talking particularly about these kind of fraternities na medyo may street element. Kasi may mga frat naman na maayos naman na frat eh. Kumaga, may mga
wala pa ako nakikitang maayos na frat dati.
Okay. So here's the thing. If we have just slight pause. If we have like English viewers, because there's something that's lost in the translation when we talk about this. So for the people that are watching English language, we have to explain that in the Philippines, fraternities are not really like fraternities how they are here. Not only do they have hazing rituals that can lead to death during that era from like the 70s up to about the early 90s, basically frats are like gangs. They would be kind of like how like Eme would be here, or like Bloods and Crips.
Yep.
That's how it would be. Like, you know what I mean? And then sometimes when they have gang warfare, they would be carrying like, double-bladed, knives. And then the Kamago ironwood, and they will go to war with each other. They, and then we got the tactical pana, that you put in your forearm. Then sometimes like the tip is made out of broken glass. Sometimes I even put a antifreeze on that so that your blood don't coagulate when you get hit. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, it's almost like that. Parang hinalo kasi, a gang with a initiation during college, basically. Actually. In Manila, in Makati, when I was in high school, you'll see them already. So high school to college.
Yeah.
It's back then though, it's, you're not proud. I mean, you get into a gang, you don't really advertise that you're with them. Not like, nowadays, you see them in Facebook, it's the yearly anniversary, right?
So weird.
I was like, they're proud, but back then, you have to hide that.
Yep.
I mean, your parents saw that. Gulpi sarado ka pag nalaman ng mga parents mo.
Initiate ka ulit.
So Doi, I'm sorry I interrupted. Just trying to explain it because I know we have American or English speaking viewers. They don't get that. It's a lot of cross-cultural thing that's lost in translation. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. I mean, just feel free to jump in, guys. Like I'm just like I'm I'm eating your ears.
No, because the
Uh,
thing is, a lot of the hipster, the Gen Z kids don't even know that now about frats, how they were back in the day.
Well, the frats what they know now is a little bit more calmer.
They like
Yeah.
K-pop now.
Yeah, siguro pareho rin nung arnis dati, pero hahampasin ka talaga.
They like
Ngayon may
BTS
mga
now.
extractor ngayon tayong arnis na hindi naman gaano kasadista or something like that.
So this, yeah, that's true. That's true. So is it better if I speak English instead?
No, no,
Or
no, no,
should I
no,
say-
no. That,
okay lang?
no, ayos lang.
Whatever
works
Continue,
for you.
Okay
continue.
lang. Sige, sige.
Kahit anong ano,
Actually,
No,
gusto mo.
because
we
don't
have
worry, we'll add
viewers-
subtitles later,
Yeah.
like months
Yeah.
from now.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we have
okay.
viewers
Yeah.
from Negros, so
Oh.
people are watching. So
Wag
kung
ka
gusto
magsalita.
mo
Pwede.
Mangilongo ka, so
Oo.
pwede rin. Hindi nga ka lang
Maintindihan.
naintindihan. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I joined some groups, a group, and ganun nga nangyari. So medyo dun, medyo naka-experience tayo ng kakaibang style of fighting. Na-realize ko na holy moly, we really need to train in yung arnis nga, you know. That's very doon ko nakita yung value ng arnis no? Doon. Sabi ko tangina na away ano to Hindi away sparring to, talagang away anuhan to, you know. Tsaka nung bata kasi ako, yung mga tropa ko halos halos yung mga, sorry for the term I don't mean to sound like the term, pero itong term kasi ginagamit na sa atin, 'di ba? Yung I hanged out mostly in the street ng mga squatter, yung mga kababata ko So yung squatter areas, I hanged out in those places talaga because yung business ng family ko medyo it was situated in an area na medyo parang tondo ng Bacolod din, parang tondo namin, parang ganun sa shipping, no, sa shipping area. So lahat ng mga bata doon, ng mga anak ng mga ex-con, yung mga ganun, mga kababata ko, mga tropa ko. So I'm always in my dad's office, tapos yung mga nagwo-work doon sa pops ko, they were in the shipping business kasi. So parang yung mga tauhan nila talagang mga ex-con pare. Yung talagang mga hardened people, man. And you know, that's where I kind of learned how to, like, you know, makisama, how to talk to people, how to, you know, how you know, you could lose your life over water down there, you know. I mean, like dahil sa tingin, yung mga ganon, doon ko medyo nakita yung sensitivities ng ganon na you have to be kind of like marunong ka rin yung you know, how ka makisama kasi iba yung pinanggalingan din nila. We're very blessed na, you know, at least for myself, you know, I mean, at least may bubong, you know, you can eat 3 times a day, you know what I'm saying? These guys, sila nga, like it's really hard for them. They don't even have like food and stuff like that. The poverty back home in the Philippines is just unnatural. It's very sad, tragic, you know, and hopefully one day we got to fix that. You know, it's really, really sad. So first time nakita ko talaga. So I grew up with these kids. So, you know, when I have some money, you know, I buy, like, you know, we buy snacks and all that kind of stuff. So it meant a lot. As a matter of fact, one of the guys actually na lumaki. I don't even remember this guy, but he sent me a message sa Facebook, no? And pare, sabi niya, Doi, kumusta na? I'm like, kumusta bro? And syempre, hindi mo papansinin, di ba? So, you know, I said, kumusta? I said, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, yeah, kind of, man. I'm like, sabi niya, no, it's been a while. He said, I was a little kid back when you were, you know, in Bacolod, you know. It's like I was a little kid who just used to tag along with you guys, like yung street kid, yung mga squatter kids, no. So we used to shoot pool, nagbibilyar kami doon sa street, sa daan. So nakikisalo rin ako sa kanila na nagbibilyar kami doon, na mga kasama ko yung mga squatter kids, ganoon. So kasali siya doon. Tapos bibili ako ng mga yung mga soft drinks, yung mga RC Cola pa yun mga ganun ng mga soft drinks pa So he never forgot it, you know, and he got back to me and he said, hey man, you know, thanks for, you know. I was like, wow, that's so cool, man. Sabi niya, parang lala mo yun, you know, he was like, that's so cool, like thanks for, it really meant a lot, you know. And I'm like, walang problema, you know, no problem, man, anytime. And he said, and he was not in the special forces, he's a cop now. It's like, pare, like, you know, I'm in the special forces, I'm a cop, you know. I'm like, holy shit, that's cool. So yun, police na siya, parang SAF ba yun? Yan. Excuse my language. Excuse
So
me.
he's like a SAF trooper?
Yeah. It's like a commando, like something like that, you know. And I'm like, oh wow, that's fucking cool, dude. So yeah, I became a cop. Like I'm like in the SAF, you know, special forces and stuff. Like, when you come down here, bro, it's like just let me know, we'll take care of you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, that's really nice. It's kind of scary, but okay. Like, but yeah, I mean, these small things, small, gestures and stuff. It's really heartfelt talaga. I think that's really important na, we get an opportunity dun, to give back. Sana one day soon. No? That's what we're trying to do with Dominion, the music and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, fast forward, I got into these, I got like firsthand experience on what a street fight really looks like. It's terrible. And really, honestly, and man, don't do it. Don't do it. Puta, we had like pillbox and all that kind of stuff, dude. Fudge. I'm very lucky to even be alive. I'm like, man, that was so bad. Bad trip. Cops ran after us. It's just, I don't know where to start.
Kahit barangay talo, they
So
actually
I was gonna ask Doi, nangyari to sa Maynila, hindi na sa Bacolod, pati sa
Di pa,
Maynila.
Bacolod pa lang to.
Bacolod pa yun,
lang to.
Bacolod pa.
So
Bacolod. Elementary pa lang.
bago pa ozone fire ito, Bacolod pa lang ito.
Way
Pillbox.
way before. Like this is like 1990, 91, 92, between that.
Crazy.
I mean,
Yeah, I
don't
had to
feel
leave.
bad, Doy, kasi nung bata ako, high school, pag uwi namin, pag alam naming may rumble, iiwan namin yung bag namin sa school. Tapos meron kami isa pang bag, pupuruin namin ng bato.
Sabi ko na nga ba eh.
Para maghinampas ko
Oo,
sa'yo.
Tama ka dun. Tama ka dun.
Tapos dati pa, tawagan, tatawag ka talaga. Oy, mga rest back. Ang
Oo,
lalayo
yeah,
pa,
yeah.
mag-meet kayo sa sa crossing or whatever. Tapos
Ganon. No?
saka dati pa nung panahon na yon, well, in my time, kasi mas matanda ata ako sa'yo. So, kadalasan, hindi basta magkikita kayo, tasuntukan ka agad eh. Meron kayong representative sa both sides, mag-uusap muna. Kasi ang goal dati no, hindi naman patayan eh. Talagang bugbugan lang talaga.
Right.
Tapos malalaman nila magkakasundo o may weapon, walang weapon, ganyan. Pag nagkasundong walang weapon, lahat ng mga bit-bit namin ilalagay namin sa tabi.
Tama.
Tapos suntukan, ngayon pag may bumunot ng sandata, di-pick up lahat ng sandata.
Oo, nandyan lang. Tama kayo.
Nandyan-
Tama po
nandyan
kayo
lahat.
dyan.
Yeah.
Oo,
Kaso tama ka
totoo
din
yan, totoo
kasi kadalasan yung rest back namin minsan hindi nila alam mga tricycle driver na nakatayo lang. Akala mo yung pala rest back namin yung mga yon.
Nakuyog kami one time ng ganon. Man, bad trip talaga. Hindi ko muntik ako masaksak pangalawang beses. Pucha, ang bad trip pa nito.
Yeah.
Ang
Hindi na
lapit.
lapis. Hindi na lapis ang
Kutsilyo
ang
to.
gamit.
Kutsilyo,
Kutsilyo to. Bad trip talaga. Dito ako na, doon ko na-realize na kailangan mag-arnis ako eh. I mean, siseryosohin. Doon ko sineryoso yung pag-arnis dahil sa nangyari ng ganyan. I was around, I think I was 13. Mga 13 years old ako. 13, 14. Between that age. Siguro mga 13.
Wow.
Ganon.
So naging seryoso ka rin sa arnis?
Because of nangyari ng ganon. Kasi hindi ko akalain. Sa totoo lang. Alam mo, syempre, buhay pa mga brad natin. No disrespect to no one. I mean, with all love and respect. We're just talking about the past, no? Related kasi siya dito sa ginagawa natin eh.
Doy, ang tanong ngayon, ang tanong ko ngayon, nag-arnis ka because of that. The question is, did you encounter any more situations and had to apply what you learned, or you were clear free of any situations from there that involved nagsaksakan?
Yeah. It really helped me because when I jumped to Manila, I joined. I was in the nightlife industry. I worked at nightclubs and strip clubs. So parang
may gusto ko sabihin bawal Vic. Galit sa akin si Doy.
This is just the truth. Yeah. We have to be honest here, di ba? Kung ano naman yung in relation to it, talagang nakatulong talaga kasi one time kinuyog ako, and this time sa Manila, bad trip talaga, mga anak pa ng general. Jahe talaga, hindi dumating yung police, hindi man lang umawat. Yung police pa yung kumakampi. It's really so corrupt sa atin. Talagang it's very sad. It's very sad.
So yun nangyari because there was like a recent like bad news in the Philippines about that cop pulling a gun on someone.
Normal yan.
And then they didn't even prosecute him, nothing. That happened to you.
Well, in this case, hindi naman police ang nag-ano sa akin. It was, but I had a lot of brushes nung earlier sa Manila actually. Kasi that time, early 90s yun. So, yung mga area kasi na mga tinatambayan namin minsan mga Pasay mga ganon eh. Alam mo yun?
Oh,
So
delikado sa Pasay.
yeah.
Saka especially for the
Uh,
clubs that you go to kasi ang pinupunt back then nasa Gothic ano ka na ba scene or
In a
clubs lang?
way, in a
Clubs
way,
lang.
yes. In a way, yes. Pero parang even kasi yung hilig ko music na wala pang gothic stuff yun doon sa Philippines that time. Siguro nung 80s kasi ang nangyari, yung mga new wave nga, 'di ba? Yung mga mahilig sa new wave and stuff. So they had bands actually way before us, yung mga kuya namin to, mga ate. Like bands like The Dawn, of course, yung mga idol natin yan, you know, and yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch theirs. They played here. The Dawn just played. I was supposed to go, but talagang, you know, work and all that kind of things came across. Sayang. And the Dawn, and then there's another band, Identity Crisis, for instance. They were like doing the gothic, you know, look and thing.
So for those that don't understand, if they're part of Gen Z or there's some of like our English speaking like viewers, yung Identity Crisis is considered like the first true Filipino goth rock band.
I would say they're the first in that sense kasi new wave sila eh. They were not like
They were
halo.
they had halo sila halo. So they're
Halo. I
kind of
would
like
say the
a
first-
pioneer in that scene essentially.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Identity
definitely.
Crisis is a band or a group.
Yeah, it's a band. It's a
Yeah.
band in the 80s. In the 80s.
Kala ko it's the Identity Crisis. Sabi ko, man, who did that tayo?
Yeah.
Identity Crisis
Yeah.
dito.
And then
Right.
Dawn is this legendary band that like the front man died pretty young. At the age of the
No.
band.
The frontman's alive. The guitarist died.
The
Teddy
guitar.
Diaz.
What I meant is the guitar. Sorry, the guitarist died.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of great abilities. He was kind of like a Jimmy Page.
Oh hell yeah. He's a huge icon in the Filipino rock scene, community, and Filipino rock history to start with. Yeah, definitely. Teddy Diaz was one of my influences too. Like I loved watching them when I was a kid.
So this is a DM that I got because you're a goth rock person, and then you listen to the Smiths. They're asking, you live in LA now, just like the Mexicans in LA. Are you a big fan of Morrissey?
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course, yeah, absolutely. And one of my influences, definitely. The Smiths and Morrissey, Johnny Marr.
Some
and those
mga hindi
guys.
nakakaintindi, and especially for Gen Z, that's kind of like a thing. A lot of people, the East Coasters, don't know that as well when it comes to that California music community. Morrissey has a really
yeah.
big following in the Chicano community and even in the Filipino community of
yeah.
people of a certain age.
Yeah.
It's like a cross-generational type of thing, actually.
Right.
So if you grew up in like the 80s and 90s and you are like Chicano or like a Filipino that is into like new wave or rock, you're a fan of Morrissey if you're in California. It's weird. It's a weird West Coast thing. But that's like 80% of the tickets that he sells. But continue with your story, Doi. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah. So yeah, the Dawn was such a big band. Also, Identity Crisis themselves too. Definitely. In my opinion, I would say like one of the first goth bands would be in a way Identity Crisis in my opinion. Although they played a more like new wave, like more dark wave, goth wave style of goth as it's defined as of today. They weren't really like rock or heavy rock, you know, something like that.
So I do
guitars
have
and
to
stuff.
ask that another DM that I got. I had to ask that
Yeah.
question because basically you guys really came to prominence kind of like in like the mid '90s scene, right around the time that there was the famous Philippine tragedy where hundreds of people died, the ozone fire.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. So for those that don't know, they didn't grow up in the '90s or like a Gen Z or like a Phil Amigo in America. That's a seminal period in Filipino history. Not much different than when the FBI building burned down got blown up. This one was a tragedy in that it wasn't deliberate, but hundreds of people died because there was a fire in a basically a disco house in a club. So tell us about like that time because you're part of that era.
Yeah. Actually, it's fudge, man. I hate to say it. I was actually gonna drop by that club actually, that night because it was like a lot of kids. What do you call that? Like they just graduated that night, like graduation night. So every kid, like I was already like in college. I think I was I in college? I think I was in college already. Yeah, I think I was in college already. So that was like mid '90s or something like that, I believe. And so yeah, so what happened was it was a graduation evening. So everybody, all the kids who just graduated, they were celebrating, you know, in different clubs. So I'm gonna share a bit of the demographic, like how it was then back in my time. Not like that was a really long time ago.
Because
But
that was in '96 when it happened.
96, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, correct. So we came out like 1994. So we were already playing like 94 around that time. So yeah, we were getting really active at around 95, 96, 97. Those times were like when we were trying to build, a following, a name, because our kind of style of music, nobody really liked it. I mean, maybe not really like it, but it was very underground. Let's just put it that way. It was like totally like, if you look like the way we looked at that time, like everybody thought you were a spawn of Satan or something. They thought you're like either they just didn't want you. No clubs wanted us. Nobody wanted us. Nobody liked us. Nobody wanted us. Nobody cared. And I kind of get it. It's very conservative at that time. It was very hard for us, to try to, and we were very DIY, very underground. Same still. And yeah, but anyway, going back to what you mentioned, so fast forward, I got expelled from Bacolod, and now no schools wanted me and whatever. Now I had my mother and my dad and my mom were kind of like separated. So my mom was in Manila with my one, like a part of my family, and then my dad's family's in Bacolod and stuff. So I moved to Manila.
Where
And
did you go
then
to? Where did you go to college?
in Manila.
What school?
So okay, I always had this thing with education. I jumped schools left and right. Okay, so yeah, so
So
I went
say
I
the
went
list.
yeah.
Walang problema.
I was trying to evade it. But so I went to school in high school. I finished high school in Manila because you remember I didn't get to finish high school. I was like second year high school in Bacolod. But the knife thing, what happened was there was a brawl. We had I got into a group, a fraternity in Bacolod that was inside school, but we were school kids. When we went out, we got into fight with street kids, like the sidecar drivers and those guys. They almost jumped us. So it was the agreement. The thing was, and Kuya Paul was mentioning, like in the big city, like in Manila and stuff. Yeah, there was like they're a bit more civil, like like they talk to each other first and they agree and all these things. So totally true. But sometimes in the province, it's a bit more emotional. Like people in the province, like they're when they fight each other, it's like a bit more emotional. People are a bit more like they kill each other over basketball and stuff. It's just I know that was then. I don't know now. Okay, I'm not saying and I'm not stereotyping everybody, but I'm just saying what I experienced was from our school. We had to walk out of school because two guys in my school in high school didn't like each other. One of the new kid who got into a fight with my fraternity brother, he was a new kid, but this kid was kind of hard. And I noticed like he wasn't phased at all. He wasn't scared of us. But it happened to be that he had a gang outside school, and I knew one of his his gang brothers, who talked to me, and that guy is bad news. He's like, you don't mess with this guy. He's a tough guy. And he comes up to me and said, hey man, I like you, you're my friend, but listen up, we don't like your friend. So just so I don't want you to get involved, give your friend to us, we're gonna jump him and he steps outside school. I told him, look dude, don't do that, bro. We're friends, and I love you to death. We grew up with each other, may pinagsamahan tayo, so magkaibigan tayo, may pinagsamahan tayo, and I really don't like our groups to like have any like issues and stuff like that. But I can't do that, bro. I can't do that. I can't give my friend like that, man. I said, and I won't do that, and I really don't want it to go this way. Is there a way we can just talk this out? Let's negotiate. Let's what's a problem here? It's a small thing. This guy looked at him. Nobody got hurt anyways. I mean, it's just ego thing. So why don't we just like let it go? And I said, okay, I'll talk to my guy. He's a younger kid. We're young and stupid and trying to be tough guys. And then he comes. I said, my boy won't let it go, dude. Something's gonna happen after class and stuff like that. I said, listen, man, I really don't want this to happen. But at this time, I had some training, so I wasn't like really totally. I mean, kind of scared of them too because I know how they are. But I mean, like, my cardio was good. I could run fast. So I was like, shit, man. Like, I don't know what the hell am I getting myself into. I didn't even want to be like a part of this group. It just happened to be not peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like all my friends became a part of this frat. And now I told them, guys, let's not do it because I could almost see what's going to happen. There's a lot of like things in the news about frats of people dying left and right, and I'm like, ayoko sana, but I had no friends. Parang ito lang yung parang family support ko. Parang yung and everybody became a frat man, you know? And I was so left out. And I'm like, sige, sama na lang ako, ganun. And okay. And now shit, school starts. That was summer. School starts. Now we're like, I think we're second year high school or something like that.
Saka
so-
the norm, yung the norm kasi sa Pilipinas,
Yeah.
ang away, it's not one-on-one. It's group by
Oh,
group.
True,
So,
true. Yeah,
So-
yeah. And you don't know who your enemy is. My cousin was 17 years old visiting from Manila. He got stabbed and he died in
Dang.
Bacolod
Dang.
over nothing, dude. Over because he was also a musician. He's a nice guy too. He wasn't even a tough guy or anything like that. Like he's just good looking guy, you know. And the girls kind of liked him. Some people got jealous and stupid ass people in the street. But what happened was there was like alam mo yung mga baile-baile dun sa Pilipinas, like you know these like this barangay dances. You know they have like in like the what do you call like the basketball courts and hindi pa nga, it's not even cemented. You know it's like really like rudimentary kind of like dude.
Yeah, it's
Oil.
kind of a layered dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
layered dirt
Yeah.
province style, you know,
Yeah,
like
layered
that
dirt.
kind of.
Hmm.
My cousin went there and said, "Oh, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, check out the scene, you know." And he looked like a good guy. He wore shades. Some guys didn't like him. The girls liked him a lot, and the guys waited for him outside the street. When he walked back with my other cousin, they attacked them. My cousin got stabbed. My other cousin did karate. He survived, but he got stabbed too. But he did an upper block, and the freaking guy had a bolo. Bang! My cousin's hand almost came off, dude. My other
Damn.
cousin, it sucks. My
So
cousin
so
died.
so here's the thing. This is a word of caution. It's not like that now, but
No, it's not
just a
now.
word of caution, especially kung hindi ka pamilyar sa lugar. Pag
Oh, dude.
bibisita ka. I'm not blaming your cousin because it's not his fault clearly, but yun ang problema. This is maybe a lesson to some people. Wag mong don't court the native girl in that town
Yeah.
because it's possible that a lot of guys there like her, especially if she's really pretty.
Yep.
So just pag nadayo ka, ganun lang.
pumili ka ng pangit.
Yeah, yan tama.
Ng pogi. Hindi ka ng pogi na lang. Oh, di ba? Di ba? Medyo kalmado pa eh. Kasi pag pogi niya, baka matropa niya rin yung mga kaaway mo eh. Kaya, oh pare, wag yan.
Hindi, totoo yung sinasabi mo kasi, you know, like we talk, most of the time we talk about walking in Tondo, you know, put your
God.
head down. You got to do the same thing when you go in another place. So,
Yeah.
saka, I mean, naturally, Filipinos, when you go to, I mean, tribe kasi,
Yeah.
you go a place that you don't know. Yeah, we're friendly, but there's another group there that they like to pose, you know.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Posturing, so-
people
And-
keep
and
on
they will
forgetting
fight.
it because the thing is
Yeah.
we have this reputation, particularly wherever we go in the diaspora, that we're really nice people. Yeah, I understand that, but remember, like Filipinos killed their first tourist. Gets Mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, pinatay si Magallanes.
Yeah.
Magellan's a tourist, and we
Magellan, yeah.
freaking murked his ass. So we're not really that hospitable, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
think
showed
he
hospitality.
flexed- he
Paso pag
flexed too
napuno
much.
na. Yeah.
Pag napuno, exactly. Like you show hospitality, but the problem is there is a limit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's the problem. Yung ugali natin, ganun. Like,
Oh.
pagtimpi, and then you can't keep it anymore. You just blow up like that.
Correct. Yeah.
Totoo yun. Totoo yun.
You
Totoo
know?
yun.
So how did you start? When did you get started in music?
Yeah, so I was already a fan of music originally, and then I was nung same time I was already like, to be honest, I just wanted to play the drums. So actually kinausap ko pops ko kasi magulo na ako sa school eh. So talagang parang hilig ko lang talaga music talaga. And I wanted to play the drums and all that. And then nung una, syempre dad ko no, you know, again. So but hindi naman against siya, pero mom ko ang bumili ng drums.
Ng
So I
drums?
think eventually. And I think that
Ano
happened
yan,
because
sa Manila ka muna nagsimula or
hindi, sa Bacolod. Yeah.
sa Bacolod?
Yeah. So they bought me drums to like I think to divert me from
From
going with the
street
wrong
fighting.
crowd from
Yeah.
from wrong crowd. And dun I was so happy that, pero at that time kasi parang I got deep into this group, and ang nangyari parang andun yung drums ko, so parang nade-distract ako no. So but I learned to play the drums, and ano pa yun, cassette tape pa yun eh. Ang bad trip pa nun yung cassette tape, and I'm playing along with the cassette tape. I have to stand up again when I make mistakes and walk all the way to to click mo yung play, rewind,
Correct,
play.
correct.
Dude, Tapos the cassette tape, the film would come out. Oh my God, man, naging expert.
Ikutin mo pa nung
Yeah,
nung
yeah,
lapis.
yeah. Bro, isa-splice mo pa yan, visit. Anyway, so, Nalala pa na tuloy.
Nag-progress ka when you went to Manila? Kasi you
So-
were hitting the clubs.
No, so not yet pa. So I just started playing the drums and all these things. And then that thing happened sa yung friend ko nga. And this guy, he nag-away sila, di ba? Nung high school, going back to that. Sorry, I kept jumping left and right now.
Yeah.
Pero medyo connected eh. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Daming away mo.
Oo, dami nangyari sa akin dyan talaga. As in, shocking talaga. Kasi hindi naman akong ganun eh. I mean, actually, parang napasama lang talaga tayo sa ganun. Pero it is what it is. Nangyayari pag tropa-tropa. Alam mo, you're young, mga kaibigan. So we walked there, hindi ko alam lahat na tao doon, mga standby doon, mga tropa nila. So they encircling us, andun na kami, we're in some hill. And then nagsunto, sabi yung usapan, suntukan na lang one-on-one daw. That's why tama Kuya Paul when you said tinatabi yung mga armas ganyan. That's true. That's may usap. Yes, that's true. That's true. And then what happened was yung usapan ganon, di ba? My guy, my friend was winning the fight, on the one-on-one. But everybody's already encircling. It looked like a scene out of like, alam mo yung ni Michael Jackson, alam mo yung Beat It ba yun? Ano ba yun?
Yeah.
Alam mo yung it looked like ano ba yun? Yung mga nag-aaway-aaway sila, yung alam mo yun? That's funny as hell.
Beat
But
it. The
Beat
music
It ba
video,
yun?
Beat It.
Yeah, something
Beat It.
like that. Yeah. It was like a scene out of that. And like, oh shit, this is really bad, as a 14-year-old kid. I was in the middle of it. Like, I was like, dude. So, suntukan sila, okay na. So, I thought, okay na, So, uwi na tayo, ganun. Wala.
Nope.
The other guys jumped in. So, nag-jump in ng ibang guys. They jumped my guy. So, syempre, nakialam na kami. But, oh, stop, ganyan. So, ako lang, awat lang, ganun. So, I try to push the guy. Bro, the guy in his belt. This is the first time I've seen a blade inside a belt. He pulled out his buckle. May kutsilyo pala sa loob. There was a blade inside the buckle. Nakita mo ba yun yung blade, belts? Yung buckle blades na ganun. Pag pull out yung ganun, ginanya niya ako. Dude, there was like probably lapit namin, grabe. Siguro mga 1 foot, 1.5 foot ganun. Tapos, he almost stabbed me right in the throat. Buti na lang, alam mo yung friend, yung parang Brad nila, ganun, nakaibigan ko din. Yun, the guy who talked to me, right? Yeah, such a great guy. He stayed, nanggitna siya. He said, no, dude, don't do that. Buti na lang, he saved me from that, And yeah, I was so lucky. I was like, wow, shock ako. So I was like thinking, after that, medyo, nag-isip rin ako. Sabi ko, you know what? Kailangan mag-arnis ako. Kailangan matuto ako ng arnis. Seryosohin ko kasi parang, damn, ganito pala yun. Di ba? Na, wow, matatapos na yung buhay mo just like that. Like what could have everybody done? Nobody, there was a lot of everybody there. Nobody would have done nothing. Alam mo yun?
Correct.
And it was broad daylight and I froze. I froze. I don't know, parang doon ako na-sales stock ko rin siya. Sabi ko, oh, sandali lang bro. Relax lang, akala ko suntukan alam mo yun. Parang naman, sabi ko, suntukan lang, di ba? Or yun naman yung usapan But now I realize that, hey, it's in that kind of situation, there's no such thing as rules and mga ganon. No cops came. Nobody,
of course.
Nobody came. Nobody came to break it up. Nobody. It was just terrible.
Yep.
So you decided na sabi mo mag-arnis ka. How did you think, okay, hanap ako ng arnis? Would you go through family? Did you ask people? How did you end up finding the one that you grabbed?
Right. Great question. So what happened was I was still doing taekwondo at those times, no? And then I didn't really go out and like really go look for our arnis teacher, but I already knew in my heart and in my head, I better learn this properly. I already had a bit of a background, pero hindi yung serious talaga na ganon. So I said, damn, I really gotta like take it seriously. Kasi parang itong mga ganitong laban-laban na to, hindi na biro to Parang itong mamamatay ka dito sa ganito di ba? And as a matter of fact, I'm not even telling you guys what happened, like may mga pillbox pa. But that's too much, So
Yep.
There's so many things pa na nangyari na ganon, like what the hell? Parang IED
Yep.
So and I saw them how they make like yung mga pana, yung mga pillbox ganon. Just sabi ko, iba klase to Sinasawsaw pa nila sa kanal yung mga pana. Alam mo yung mga pana? Sinasawsaw nila yung mga tips dun sa kanal para may hook. Para pag pumasok yan, ang hirap it's different world, bro. So sabi ko,
Yung sa akin, nilalagyan ko ng anti-freeze. Para pag dumugo ka, hindi magsarado hindi maghihilom yung mo.
Social pa yun.
Yeah.
Sa mala. Sa kanila dun, yung mga
Mayaman si
kanal talaga
Julius
Yeah. Oo. So, yeah. But anyhow, but going back, so nangyaring ganon. Then long story short, I got expelled from school. And rightfully so, makulit rin kasi ako. So, ang problem, wala nang school sa Bacolod matatanggap sa akin. Kasi natanggal ako doon, nasipa ako sa school. So, none of the schools want me anymore. Wala talaga. Nako, kawawa naman nanay ko. Nako, naghanap pa talaga ng school. Nako, lahat na lang. Wala. So, I didn't really want to go to Manila kasi papa ko nandun sa Bacolod. And in a way, parang ang sarap ng buhay ko doon eh. Pero wala eh. Non-productive talaga. It's really bad for me and all that. So I decided to finish school and go to Manila. Ayusin ko na yung pag-aaral ko, yung, ayusin ko sarili ko kasi medyo nahiya na rin ako sa parents ko, na parang what the hell, walang puntahan to eh. So I had to make a decision. I felt bad na parang ganito yung medyo napunta ako doon. I was still all the while still playing the drums, learning the music and all, really loving music talaga. And music saved me. I would probably say. Kasi syempre may mga dreams din tayo na, we want to play music. You were young, you're a kid, you want to play in a band. Kumaga yung pinaka-dream mo lang just to play music and meet people, the musicians. Parang big deal na sa akin yun ng bata ako na parang, wow, you play guitar. Parang gano'n, di ba? Parang, musician. Parang yun talaga yung gusto ko talaga. Parang gano'n. Akaso lang yung mga nakasama ko, walang nagaganyan. So, mahilig sa music din sila, pero not like this, like, music. So, music really saved me. I had like a desire, like a dream to do music, be a musician, probably, something like that. So, I took a plane and I flew to Manila, Philippines, and finished my high school. Thank God na tanggap ako sa high school. And then, I promised myself, hindi na talaga akong no more, none of that. I swear. Parang ganon. But this is a different world now. Now it's even, a bigger world, like way, like crazy. Early 90s na. So 92, something like that. No? So I was in my teens. So the school I went to, like the kids there, okay naman, mga musician din. Pero yun, they were club hopping. Kasi walang mga, sa Philippines, parang walang age limit eh. No, parang, there's like no age limit for going in clubs at that time. Maybe now it's different now, no? But at that time, you can go in the club like even if you're young. So
yeah, you could be like 13 years old and it's all good.
Yeah. You could smoke and mga ganon, inom,
Yep.
all the bad things you really shouldn't be doing. But yeah, and then because of going to clubs and that time there's no internet, so parang you had to meet people face to face. If you wanna meet some girls and stuff, you had to meet them,
Yeah, back then you need to know the places. You need to know the days and the people who, kasi pag wrong day ka, walang tao dun sa club.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to know the places. So
right. So grabe nung time na yan, I was in high school, so yung mga Equinox pa yun, yung mga Faces, yung mga ganyan, Euphoria, yung mga ganyan mga disco pa noon sa Makati, ganon, mga Jalu, yan, ganun ba yan? Jalu, ano pa ba yung nasunog? Ozone, yeah.
Ozone, yeah.
Yeah, nasunog Ozone. So those were really happening places kasi there was no internet nga eh. So everybody was always out and about, hanging out all the time in the clubs, in the streets, Green Hills, ganun. Yun, tambay kayo dun sa mga ganun. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun, pero it's also a lot of corruption din sa government. Ang dami ding yung mga violence din, mga fraternity din, matindi rin dun, mga frat din, matindi rin sa Manila. So long story short, I put up a band. I had a band in high school with my best friend, BJ, was his name. He's not with us anymore, unfortunately. But he was such a great frontman singer. He was like the singer of the Cult. Yan, idol niyan. Magaling talaga yan. So we were playing a lot of the Cult stuff, mga ganon, mga 80s, ganon. So after which he became a cop. He became naging police na siya. So ganon. So I was left to my own devices. I put up a band and I met I was really into bands like Sisters of Mercy kasi mga ganon eh. So sabi ko, ba't ganito? Parang walang ganitong, gusto ko manood ng band na ganyan tugtog, ganon. So that time, I mean, I heard ng mga goth, mga ganyan, but I really don't know what the hell that meant. I didn't really care about it too. So parang gusto ko yung music, diba? Okay to, parang ganito, medyo Sisters of parang madilim, parang vampiric, ganun. Parang ganun trip ko yun. Parang tapos those time, parang mga tao doon, they like mga grunge, yung mga ganun. Yung mga they like mga Nirvana, yung mga Pearl Jam. Yun yung parang mainstream.
Ikaw, ang generation mo is almost the generation 0.5 before. Like half a generation before the grunge era. What you're into,
Yeah, so late 80s na ako na lumaki. Tapos early 90s lumabas yung Nirvana, mga 92 I think or 91 or something, 92, 93, something like that. Like between 91, something like that, no? Yeah, so that was the mainstream of rock music of that time, no? Yun yung everybody wanted to be that, Metallica, you know. And we
Yeah.
were like, ako naman, and my friends at that time, we liked underground stuff kasi we listened to a lot of music, like from post-punk to even like metal, yung mga punk, oi, mga ganyan. So I was like a fan of music. So I listened to different styles of music. Kahit sikat o hindi sikat, you know, it didn't really matter to me. I just like, you know, discovering bands, cassette tape pa yun na mga ganun Parang pupunta ka, there was no internet, you had to go like to a store and actually buy a tape, ganon. And
Yeah.
yun, nagka-cutting class pa ako para makabili lang ng cassette tape, yun nakakatawa So and yeah, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, ba't walang band na ganyan? So sabi ko, and then I met a guy, actually he's a bit older than me. And we became friends. And talaga mahilig siya talaga sa DJ siya, parang ganun. Collector siya ng mga gothic music, mga ganyan. Tapos sabi niya, hey, this is like a goth style, mga ganyan. Sabi ko, well, oh, yeah, I like this band. Sabi, oh, so you like that kind of style of music? I said, well, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, whatever you call it. I just like it anyways. Doesn't matter. So sabi niya, then he started sharing music with me na talagang underground talaga na wala pa talaga sa Pilipinas. You couldn't buy it anywhere. Like, he orders stuff talaga. Pahirapan pa talaga nun. There was a store called in Green Hills. There was a store called CD. Shit, I forgot the name. CD Planet or something like that. CD. Anyway, it was in Green Hills. He used to order stuff down there. Talagang alam mo yung alam mo, horrible ng shipping ano natin sa Pilipinas talaga. The shipping system. Talagang wala tayong sistema sa Pilipinas na maayos. You'll order stuff from the States or from the UK, from Europe, and then it gets to you like in 8 months. Alam mo yun, parang tangin na yan. Alam mo yun, minsan ninanakawan pa nila.
Or nanakawan ka pa. Hindi na darating.
No, hindi darating. What the hell? But anyway, his stuff came and he had like a lot of bands, underground bands from the States, from Europe. Shinare niya sa akin. So ang daming mga post-punk punk bands and stuff like that. So wow. So medyo swerte ako no na he shared with me. Gerard is his name. Like he was considered like sa gothic scene sa Pilipinas, parang yan yung ano namin yung parang grandfather. Yeah. Yan yung parang ano namin sa goth scene. Yeah, I would consider him like he's one of those guys talaga who made the goth scene in Philippines existent, no?
And I was gonna say, like, when I listen to your band, it does like have a lot of like Sisters of Mercy type of feel to it. Lalo na yung drummer nyo, he really like is very active in the skins. Magaling siya. Talagang pulido, talagang bihasa.
Yeah.
So yung band mo ngayon nasa US, am I right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
how did you go about building that? Ikaw ba nag-build or?
Yeah. I started a band when I was like 17, mga ganun. So I had a band before that, and then after that, I said, you know, tatayo ako ng band na parang ganito yung tugtog. And there's nobody doing that kind. That's like really weird, you know, at the time sa Philippines, ganun. And then sabi ko, I don't care, you know, I'll just do it anyway out of just, you know, I just like it, that's all. I mean, I just like that kind of music. I don't really care kung may darating. I just wanted to play that kind of style. So then I met some guys and I discussed with them, hey, I met this guy, the first, a couple of guys who were referred to me and maging kaibigan ko yung iba. But before that, my high school band started playing clubs already sa Philippines, sa Manila, you know. Doon ako medyo na natuto na tumugtog ng, you know, like getting paid in a way, like well, sometimes a lot of times not getting paid, of course, you know, but I mean to say like you're almost like in a professional setting, like, you know, you got to show up and rehearse. Then you have, and there wasn't like a school for that. Like people don't teach you those things. Like you have to experience it. Parang alam mo yun, daming kailangan mag-practice kayo, kailangan pala magkita kayo ng a real band, like a real band. Tapos
yeah,
you play in a club. I didn't even know what the hell marketing was. You know, I mean, like I just wanted to play, and you have to market it. You know, you have stuff like, what the hell is that? So a lot of those things, and then some clubs had to audition. Kailangan mag-audition talaga, ganyan. So talagang we really learned one by one through actually experiencing it.
Doi, hindi ko lang gustong ma-stop. Pwede bang, can I share with them, so to our viewers, what your sound, what your music is?
Oh,
pwede kong i-share. I will like do a split screen kasi
you know, you have to scare everybody away.
You know, no, pero kasi parang pakiramdam ko, you guys are like basically like Sisters of Mercy and the Cult put together.
Yeah, of course.
And then kind of with the Filipino like feel. With like a Pinoy feel.
I want to hear it because I already told you. Actually, Doi, I told Julius na so surprise namin to para may play namin yung music mo.
Kayo bahala. This is your show, man. But yeah,
go
okay.
Ahead,
I hope you don't scare people away.
No, we won't. ating viewers, did you guys hear it?
Exactly. Buti na lang, hindi na ano, baka movie na mga yan.
No, but
So-
they know what link now to look for in YouTube.
Yeah, please. Yes. So
No, but continue. Yung
yeah.
song na yun, ginawa mo para sa ama mo. Explain.
Yeah, that's Father Chains. But really quick before we get there. But fast forward muna. So in Manila, that's what happened. So I put up a band that played the kind of music. We didn't even have a name. Tapos I was with my friends. I met some guys along the way. Mike was I'm actually the drummer. I was originally the drummer of the Minion. I was not the singer. So the original singer was Mike Strange, and then we had our guitarist Raymond. He was our original guitarist. He also plays in Sugar Hiccups. So Sugar Hiccups is a huge band back home. They're superstars, good friends of ours, excellent band. And then also our bassist was E-Man. So he also plays for Sugar Hiccups from time to time. He has his own band called Frank Sinatra. He's pretty big. He plays for the guys from River Maya and those guys. So they went ahead and did music and did big things too. So with that said, so we went ahead and started playing, looking like that, like gothic. We had like big hair and like the makeup and all that. It was funny. Like and all the rejections we took, all the hate, everybody hated us. Some people of course supported us. People didn't know what to do with us. And all these things, and honestly, I mean, we were able to play we were very, very, very lucky to be able to play in some places that accepted us. And one of these places was like Club Dread. Club Dread it's like CBGB in the Philippines. So there's a club called Club Dread in the Philippines, which is very important to. It's a historic venue and a place that helped a lot of most rock bands of that time in the 80s, underground bands play. They let bands like us play in their stages in Club Dread, and we're very thankful for that. They're a huge venue for rock music, really iconic, and also places like Merrick's, another iconic place. And and thankfully because of that, then we had the opportunity to. Club Dread was so kind. The owner Patrick Reidenbach, was very supportive of us, and he had a TV show. He had a TV show, the Dread Sessions, like a Club Dread Sessions, like a TV show. And I really didn't want to do it. I wasn't really interested. Like I just wanted to play music. I didn't really care about coming out on TV and any of this kind of stuff. I just wanted to play music really, but he convinced me like, hey, I'd really want you guys to come out on my show and stuff. And, I didn't want to like offend him or anything. So I said, okay. And we played with another great band called, they're older than us, so they're huge. They're superstars. Like they're called Alamid. You should check them out if you don't know who they are, but they're big band, major label bands. Alamid, the singer was a good friend of ours and very supportive. He passed away, unfortunately. And, but they are like big bands. So we were
Okay.
Yeah, there
Can
you
hear me
are.
now?
There
Oh
you are.
yeah.
We can hear you now.
I was
Yeah,
laughing.
it's okay. I'll just edit that in our YouTube release. But I was just gonna
Yeah, no
I
problem.
was just gonna ask you, hindi mo
Yeah.
natapos yung story mo. Like you
Oh,
your
yeah.
list of schools, and where did you ended up settling? Like what was the college you ended up going to?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I graduated from St. Mary's of the Woods in Makati, high school. So I went to high school in St. Mary of the Woods. I finished my high school down there, thankfully, and then I was accepted in. Well, I took a test in UP and UST, but I didn't go there. What I did was I got convinced na kaya man i-admit eh. Pero I got convinced kasi ng sa mga best friend ko. Sabi niya, pare, wag ka na pumasok doon. I don't want to go to school in UP, right? So, sabi, pare, wag ka na mag-UP, wag ka na mag-ano doon. Doon tayo sa Philippine Women's. Sabi ko, oh, bakit, pare? Yan. Sabi niya, pare, kasi ano ka ba naman, ang hina mo. Siyempre, doon tayo kasi nandun lang mga babae. Women's nga eh. Di ba? Ang babaw namin talaga. So, I went to school in Philippine Women's for a while. And yung nanay ko kasi, my mother, she graduated there. And that's where I met my my college sweetheart, who's my wife today, Lisa. So, we met there with my wife, and we're still together. So she's my college sweetheart, and had our kids and all that. But that's where I met her, and I didn't stay too long. I probably left women's after that. I got a bit bored. So I went to school in Letran, in Colegio San Juan de Letran, over down in Intramuros. And after which I also then went to school and took up business school over down in where else did I go to school? I think I aim na. It's like an international school for business in Makati. Yeah. So yeah, and then I dropped out. I almost graduated, but almost. But then I decided, you know what? Bulakbol din eh. So I dropped out and started working. I started working already in like the clubs and nightclubs and stuff. So I was thinking to myself, you know, if I'm there in nightclubs, I might as well get paid for it. So I started working in those clubs, and that's it. Yeah, yeah. And while playing the band and all these things. So good on. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Met a lot of friends along the way, and we played a lot of shows.
Napansin ko because I was able to go to one of your shows here in the Valley. Basically, like if people watch like the Karate Kid show,
Right.
like the real Valley, like Reseda and all that, that's where kind of how their scene is, right?
Yeah.
And nakakatawa sa when you think the show Karate Kid, it's like really your area, like where you live in the US. And
Yeah.
I want you to talk about your rock scene there. It's very supportive. Everyone kind of like, you know, backs up one another. I want you to talk about that scene and also your supplementary FMA training here in the US.
Okay. Yeah. So when we moved here, I stopped actually playing in Dominion, because what happened was going back to the Philippines, what happened was when we came out on TV and all that, then a lot of like opportunities came up. So we Dominion, we did a lot of like, we came out on like MTV Asia, something like that. Is that like what was it called? Channel V. It became Channel V. It was MTV Asia, and then it became Channel V.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were featured in Channel V, and but I really didn't like. I wasn't interested in doing any of that. But you know, these things just came in, and we started coming out on TV nationwide and all these kind of things. Although we wanted to be underground DIY, we didn't want to be like some kind of pop band. I didn't want to be like some kind of. I just wanted to play music. You know, I was not interested in, you know, all that. And then a compilation album, we came out under a major label, and a major label called Alpha Records. And I wasn't really into like, because at that time before, record companies, major label companies, they would just give out record contracts just like that to many bands. But I already kind of had a feeling that we would lose control of our music and all these things. And we had a couple of offers where they wanted to change how we look or how we sounded. You know, they wanted to put us in like movies with like really cheesy people in it, you know, and that wasn't what I was about. You know, I just loved playing music and doing art and stuff like that. I didn't really like want to be like, come out on TV, you know. I'm not interested in coming on radio and stuff like that. It was really not my thing. It just happened to be. And not because we were good as a band. To be honest with you, we didn't even practice a lot. You know, we didn't really like, we just like girls and drinking and all that kind of dumb stuff, you know, but really not because we were good, because there were really a ton of really great bands, you know. Philippines, like everybody and their grandma has a band, you know, especially at the time. Like they were really good. I mean, our friends, the bands, you know, they were really, really great. The only difference I think with Dominion that we were lucky was getting all that kind of like media mileage was because we were different. I think at the time there wasn't a band that actually like played music like us or like looked like us. You know, we were just different. That's all. It's not because we were
So-
better than anybody.
So Dominion started in the Philippines.
Yeah. Yes, po.
Okay, hindi ko alam yun eh.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Okay.
didn't research anything about you, so I'm learning.
Yeah. Oh,
from
yeah.
Talking.
Yeah. We started like
Trabaho ni Julius yun
1994.
eh.
Oh,
Yun nga
Oh,
gusto
wala
ko
ka siya.
malaman. Yun nga gusto ko malaman nung kasi umalis ka, tas bumalik ka dito, nag-reconvene kayong parang Voltes 5 like Transformers. How did you were able to continue your band here and also like continue your FMA training?
yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. Actually, I wasn't supposed to do Dominion again. I mean, like I what happened was like my wife they moved to, you know, she was petitioned and all that kind of stuff, and my kids were, I had one kid, we had our kid in Manila, was born there, but he grew up here. and my kids, all my children were born here in the States. So with that said, Dominion was already on at that time. Fast forward, we were very lucky, like, to get sponsorship from Jack Daniels and all those kind of guys. They were sponsoring Philippine Airlines. Like, so we were already, like, even though we were an independent band, or we didn't sign with like a major label. We only released once in a major label compilation. I was not interested in doing major label stuff. But we were already touring from north and south of Philippines. Nagtutour na kami nun. So medyo nag-grow kasi nagkakaroon ng mga followers na mahilig sa ganyan eh. Parang yung mga kids who like metal and like, like dark stuff, like vampiric stuff. So nagkakaroon na kami ng kahit following and Club Dread also. Nothing big or anything crazy like that, but underground. Nagkaroon na ng parang it opened up, and like then we had some friends, like mga ibang bands na rin na later followed, like they were already playing that kind of style of music. We were doing events, like those kind of style, like goth stuff, na parang ganun. So
Well,
parang
sa totoo
naging
lang, yeah,
accepted na siya.
sa totoo lang, even here in the US, most of them are underground.
Underground, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, natural lang yung kasi sa gusto nating style ng music.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so when you were coming
You
up
really
in the
have to-
scene,
you
katropa
really
niyo
have to
sina yung mga taga River Maya?
Yeah, actually, a couple of them were used to watch us when they were. I think the third generation of River Maya na came up to me. I know because Iman, our bassist, he put up a band with some of them.
Kilala mo ba si Nathan?
Not personally.
May
Actually,
kahawig ba
magkakaibigan
ako?
kami.
May kahawig ba ako?
Nako.
No,
Mas
it's fine.
gwapo ka naman. Mas gwapo ka naman dun. Just kidding. Mas pogi ka naman. Hindi. No, we have friends between us. But not directly. No. Iba yung group nila kasing style ng music nila, more sa ganyan alternative rock, parang pop rock ganun.
Right.
So but yeah, I know a couple of most of them, many of them. Kasi maliit lang yung rock scene sa Pilipinas, maliit lang eh. Kaya lang rin magkakita. Nagkakarinigan na kayo ng mga bands niyo ganun. You sometimes you play back to back din pag may mga show.
I really feel like out of that whole scene, you guys were like the most unique sound, because it does feel like the Cult and Sisters of Mercy put together, and it's just with like a Filipino flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Earlier with our singer, si Mike Strange, we also sounded like andun pa rin yung parang sister siya, pero parang The Cure naman. Kasi his voice is a bit more like parang The Cure, yung style niya. Yeah, and it just happened to me like medyo mababa yung voice. I really can't sing, pero I was put in a position, which I'm about to tell what happened. So they were already touring and all that. So I moved to the States na. So I kind of like left the band hanging there, and sabi ko, kayo na lang bala. Just go ahead. So I came to the States na, and I don't really plan to do Dominion or anything like that. Tapos from what I heard, medyo nagkaroon na sa mga misunderstandings, ganun. The band had like their internal issues there without me, so I'm like, I'm out of that. Because I think, over touring and all these things, and then I was here and I was really not doing anything, so I started like working and all that kind of thing. But I'm really like, I really want to do like music again, like art. So I did. One day I was living in New Jersey this time, Jersey City, New York area, but in Jersey City particularly. And I was walking one day with my wife in the street along with my kid, who's still small. And I was already teaching my kids a bit of like the, arnis and all that. And then I look up I don't know, for some weird reason, I look up the building. I was crossing, and then I look up a building, and I saw like an armor, like a guy like in kendo armor, like armor, and then like a helmet, and like two sticks like that, something like that, like some kind of like poster on the building, on top of the building. I'm like, holy shit, that kind of looks familiar to me. Like I've seen this somewhere, I know this is not kendo. I said, oh, this is parang arnis to, parang ganun. I think this is arnis, no? And I look at the building, like the area. I'm like, oh, looks like an arnis school. I think this is an arnis school. So I saw phone number, whatever. So I called them up. Like, you know what? Out of ano na lang, I said, because I want my kids to learn properly, Kasi ako basic lang naman yung arnis ko. I'm not like a master or anything like that. I mean, I know how to use it, and I've actually used it in Manila, and like when we were in the clubs. That's another story. Next time na lang yan. Pero it works. That's all I'm gonna say to that. It does work for sure. 100% ako dyan. I stand by it. Anyway, so then, but I wanted my kids to learn properly, like, kasi sa akin bara-bara eh. So I saw the school and I'm like, oh, I'll give them a call. And I called them up, and they're really nice. And somebody answered. He was really cool, very, very cool, older sounding gentleman. It's very, very nice. I said, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So I said, oh, I was just asking about the martial arts school and stuff. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Just come here, just come here. Just show up, like just come to the building, this time, I'm like, I was trying to ask more, like, oh, no, no, don't worry about it. Just come and don't worry, we'll talk about it. And it's really, really nice. I go up there, so it's just an old building. I go up second floor, took my kid with me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I met the grandmaster, and man, it was Grandmaster Don Cuesta. So I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's like a legendary teacher too, like for an icon in my opinion, for Dos Pares. So it's Dos Pares Escrima. That was a Dos Pares Escrima headquarters over down in Jersey City, and it was so super nice, awesome, really awesome. And then and I started, out of for exercise, parang ganon. Kasi I put up weight, kaya na ako nakain dito. Sarap magluto misis ko eh. So I put on a lot of weight, like, so I needed the exercise, And then I went there, I saw them, like, wow, this is a very solid school. And I went there one time to, for the beginners class, So I went there and like, nagkamali ako. I went in there and like, dude, they were training for like a world tournament or something like that. And like, oh damn, I wanted to leave because medyo malakas yung paluan eh. Sabi ko, mukhang masakit ata ito ah. And parang baril na eh, alam mo yun? Yung hampas parang may binabaril eh. So I'm like, oh shit, I don't belong here, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to like seem rude or anything like that. So si Guru Dong nandun. So parang nahiya naman ako na, nakita niya ako eh, na nandun ako, aalis lang ako bigla, di ba? So I go up to Guru Dong and I say, Guru, I think I made a mistake in coming in the wrong night, I think this like super advanced class na to, parang ganyan. And Guru Dong was so cool. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it, yeah, just go in, join them. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. But I was like so embarrassed. Like I didn't want to like, offend him or anything. So I try to make up some excuse like, oh yeah, but I don't have the equipment. I don't have armor or helmet and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, well, probably if I say that, he let me off the hook, let me come back another night, on the beginners class. Because he knew that I did some arnis already in the Philippines. Because I forgot to mention, like when I was in Manila, I also stumbled in the group of the Dikiti Tirsha, Grandmaster Tortal. So Grandmaster Nene, I stumbled by accident in his class, one of his teachers, and I trained with those guys. I learned a lot of the blade from those guys, yeah, by accident. I became close to them, and then again, when I moved to the States, ganun nangyari. I met Guru Dong, and he's very super nice. I love Guru Dong; he's the best.
So
And then-
basically your base systems, besides what you learned when you were a kid, was basically Dikiti Tertia and Dikiti Tertia Cerradas and Doce Pares, basically. It's like your two
formally, yes.
the formal, and then
Formal, yes.
there's one that you grew up with when you were a kid.
Yeah, which are
informal.
more of the Ilonggo styles, more of the Ilonggo style arnis, yeah, just because of the lack of specifics, but mostly from Bacolod style, their style. And I learned that because I thought all arnis were the same, and I learned that the hard way, because what I told Gurdong is, Gurdong, I will come back like on white belt class or something like that. But Gurdong kind of knew that I had like a bit of, he was good friends with Grandmaster Nene Tortal. So Grandmaster Dong was good friends with Grandmaster Nene Tortal. I said, no, he's a good friend of mine. Okay, so no problem, join. I'm like, okay, but I haven't done that for a while. I said, okay, no problem, just pick up again. So he made me go first to basic class. I picked up all that, and then I made a mistake coming in the advanced class. And then when I went to the advanced class, holy shit, these guys are really good. I'm like, I don't think I belong here. And so Guru Dong was like, no, don't worry, just join. And I'm like, I don't have equipment. And then he said, no, then use my equipment. I'm like, dude, he lent me his armor and his helmet. Now I had no more excuse not to be in that class, bro. And that's where I realized that there are different styles of arnis, and it's very, very important that you kind of understand that. Because when I got in there, like, dude, I don't know where to start, but they made me stand in the middle. And everybody, like, I had to spar everybody in a circle. Like, everybody comes in and fights you.
Initiation.
Holy shit.
Welcome
I'm
to
like,
the gang.
bro, like, dude,
Experience ka na
I'm
dyan.
not even playing.
Kulang na lang, hindi pa na.
Oo, kulang na lang. So, andun ako sa gitna. Of course, I didn't know anybody. I'm like, I'm the new guy, right? So, everybody's like, ang lalaki pa. They're huge, big guys. I mean, like, dito yung, parang, di ba, maliit lang na mga, malalaki, maraming malalaking tao doon. And then, like, damn,
The
I don't know.
Filipinos here are pretty big too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
malaki. So halo-halo, it's not just Pinoys, no. There were like different races too and stuff, and like big guys. I'm like, it's like shit. This is gonna be a long night, dude. I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, I wanted to cry. I was in the middle, spotlight on me. Everybody comes in a circle in this. I had to fight a lot of guys. Damn, that was a lot. And spar with them, And that's where I realized that the Ilonggo systems are a bit there's a lot of differences, So Dosi Pares is more of like I think from Cebu, no? From Cebu style. So maganda rin, beautiful din, no? So then the guy he comes up to me and he was gonna hit. So then I do a payong block, bam. When I do a payong, boom, I was so happy I blocked it. When I block, and I wasn't used to wearing armor because the fucking thing is heavy as hell, man. The goddamn helmets and those. I wasn't used to that. And ang init-init, I was losing. Ang hina ng ano ko kasi pare, ang hina ng ano ko eh, mahina yung stamina ko eh.
Stamina.
My stamina sucks, man. I really, dude. Syempre, inom ka lang ng inom eh. Alam mo yun? Kain ka ng kain, inom ka ng inom. God damn. Buti hindi ako na heart
Bigat
attack
ng
nun.
helmet, bigat ng armor.
Oo, hindi ako
lahat.
sanay. Hindi ako sanay sa
Walang
ganun.
ventilation.
Oo. 'Di ba? So sabi ko, buti kasi ginagamit nila yung sparring stick naman. So medyo magaang. Sabi ko, buti lang magaang kasi kumagong ginagamit ko eh. So medyo magaang. So that's good. Sabi ko, puta, buti lang hindi ka magong ginagamit mga to. Patay ka siguro pag tinamaan ka nito eh. Yung armor kasi lulusot eh. So sabi ko, ganun. So pag okay, sparring na kami ganyan. So pagpalo niya ganun. So nagpayong ako, na-block ko, pam. Tuwang-tuwa ako. Hindi ko alam pala, kurbada palang ginawa niya. Goddamn, pumasok sa likod ng, alam mo yung likod ng armor, may crack sa likod. Bro, dumiretso yung kahoy talaga sa likod ko. Sa spine ko, nagulat ako. Akala ko may kaaway ako sa likod eh. Sabi ko, what the hell? Sabi ko, akala ko, one-on-one.
So tinama ka ng kurbada.
Oo, yung kurbada. Dude, ngayon ko lang nakita ko, tangin ba klase itong palo na to ah. Sabi ko, damn, lumusot yung palo. Sabi ko, bad trip. Oh God, this is gonna be a long night. This is so bad. And I'm like, bro, I told you, man, after that night, I don't know how I got home. Dude, tayo na. Pagtanggal ko ng armor ko. And they know the cracks of the armor too, by the way. Holy shit. Grabe, by inch. I've never seen people like that accurate. Sabi ko, tangina, yung talagang pinakadulo ng stick. Alam mo yung parang these people sleep with their sticks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like they know every inch of this thing. And I'm like, God damn. And when I took off my sakit ng katawan ko, pare, I'm like, I felt like a train hit me. I'm serious, man. Like a truck hit me so bad. Pagtanggal ko, alam mo yung parang inano ka, yung nilash ka dun.
So latay.
Kung tama, latay talaga.
Ubi ka all over. Ubi ka.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Right.
Bro.
Black and blue.
And then some.
And then some. Bro, iba klase feeling. Sabi nga nasa ako, okay ka lang. parang initiation eh. Parang frat eh. Alam mo yun?
Baka buti hindi pag-uwi mo sabi, nag-join ka na naman ng frat.
Oo. Naisip ko nga ba, hindi ba galit? Sabi ko nga, puta, hindi kayo galit sa akin mga tao doon. Baka may nasabi ako. Alam mo yun?
Hindi, tama yun, Doy, kasi kadalasan nga sa training, which actually can relate to real fighting.
Yeah.
Kasi pag naka-armor yung kalaban mo, biski ako nung dati when I spar, I look at the connection of the gear. Doon ko titirahin sa gitna nung sa butas.
Oo. Hindi ko na-realize yun eh. Hindi ko na-realize yun eh. Parang kung lalim na parang hindi ko naisip yun. Sabi ko, paano lumusot ng ganun? So syempre, sabi ko, naka-armor ako, baka hindi naman ganyan kasakit to. Until, na-realize ko.
Hinahanap talaga yung mga entry points eh.
Good
Kahit
Lord.
sa lieg, minsan yung mga flaps dito sa lieg hindi masyadong mahahaba.
Ay!
Meron yung mga exposed yan.
Totoo yun. Tapos ito pa, akala ko ang tindi ko eh. Kasi may guardahan pa ako, di ba? Sabi ko, tana, may bantay kamay tayo dito. Masasangga ko to. Tapos ang gagawin, nag-iisip na ako, sige, kung gagawin niya ulit yun, sa sidestep lang ako, itatrap ko yung kamay niya, parang i-disarm ko, ganun. Ang dami ko naisip na mga senaryo eh. Pucha, pag akit ko ng kamay ko pa lang, naka-hockey gloves ako. Hindi ko akalain pala, di ba? Pag hockey gloves pala, yung dulo dito pala, walang armor to. Tela.
Wala.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. We need to yung kamay. Bro. Hindi ko makalimutan talaga. Holy shit, we need to yung kamay kong ganyan. Halos hindi man siya gumalaw eh. Sabi ko, hindi, mahina to. Sabi ko, hindi ko akalain na nagwitik siya. He just like swiveled really, really slightly. The power went all into the tip. Bro, diretso talaga sa kamay ko. I was so lucky hindi nabasag yung kamay ko. Talagang, dude, parang, man. Sabi ko, what the hell? Paano lumusot yun? Nagulat ako. Sabi ko, parang akala ko, siyempre kapal ng, di ba, hockey gloves pa suot ko. Sabi ko, kapal nito, hindi lulusot to. Sabi ko, ganun. Yung pala may tela sa ilalim. Damn, open pala sa baba. Fuck.
Yeah,
man.
mahirap
May-
mahirap ang hockey gloves kasi number one, hindi ka talaga maka-close ng grip. Number
Yeah.
two, limited na yung rotation ng wrist mo.
Yeah, tama
Tapos
kuya.
pag yung sa labas dito, walang masyadong protection, lahat ng protection nandito.
Yeah, ang matindi nito, akala ko matalino ako eh. I try to be smart. Sabi ko, you know what? I'm not gonna use those gloves they're using. Yung open hand. Alam mo yung sa week off? Alam mo yun yung ano, yung sa 12 pares meron sila gloves na open talaga yung kamay. Yung
Yung
dito
kamay,
lang
yeah.
talaga. Yung meron sila parang siyang kickboxing gloves na open talaga. Talaga sabi ko hindi ko gagamitin yan. Tangina na, yayari tayo diyan. I'm gonna use hockey gloves. Bro, suot ko yung hockey gloves, ganun pa rin. Parang hindi ka rin nag-gloves. Eh. Kasi
Hindi ka rin
ang
nag-gloves.
galing eh. Alam nila kung saan yung, alam mo yung very patient. Tapos hindi ko akalain na ganun ka-accurate eh. Kasi like sa Bacolod, sa amin, parang syempre wala ka namang ganyang gear, no? Wala namang ganyan eh. Kumbaga, sa kana naman, control naman, pero kabagong eh. Talagang alam mo yun yung, parang napansin ko lang, and I can be wrong kasi hindi naman ako, I'm not like expert sa ganyan, pero I can be wrong ha. Pero parang hindi ko napansin yung mga witik, yung mga ganyan. Parang wala kaming ganyan talagang, kita ko parang tagaan eh. Parang ganun, parang yung mentality doon sa amin. Parang bolo. Parang talagang ganyan. Tsaka sa mga punyo. Ganun. Parang more emphasized. Maybe just yung school or probably the system na na-learn ko. I didn't know what the name was actually.
You're
Parang
more
arnis.
yours is more a blade-based orientation as opposed to an impact tool.
Right. So parang ganun yung mentality. So yung, alam mo yun, parang walang yung mga kurbada. Wala akong nakitang ganun yung mga payo. O yung mga, ano ba tawag doon? Yung mga, ano ba tawag dyan? Yung ganyan.
Abaniko.
Abaniko, yung mga ganyan, yun, witik, abaniko. Yung mga ganyan, parang hindi ko na ano yun kasi nung punta ako sa 12 pares, nung nag-spar kami, blinak ko ng ano, nag-block ako, pagpalo niya ganun. Ano pinalo niya doon? Parang number 2. Tapos biglang gumanon. Damn, dude, tamaan ako rito, nung umikot yung helmet ko eh. Alam ko, what the hell? Sabi ko, paano nagawa yan? Ang daming strike. Alam mo yun, sabi ko, ano yung magic? So usually yung ano ko talaga isang parang anan talaga yung ganun, yung parang pangtaga talaga ganun style. Yeah, so yeah, but again at that point for me like wow. So I learned a lot of that, really very eye-opening and very interesting. So yeah, I learned a lot from them. That's how, you know, nag-train ako ulit. It was really a lot of fun and everybody was great, you know. Pero maganda
So
yung turo.
yeah, do you still train right now?
Nowadays, no,
Nowadays, yeah.
nag-stop na
Hindi
ako kasi yung arthritis ko is really bad. You know, yung mga joints ko.
How about your kids?
They know how, yeah, because I taught
They know
them. I taught them, and they went to that school then. So yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
wala
good.
na yung school.
So tanong, Doi, kasi marami pa tayong mga DM. Ipapatuloy ba natin to? Magkakaroon ba tayo ng part 2?
Oh, kayo bahala. Let me know. When medyo mahaba, no? Pasensya na. Nako, I chewed
No,
all
kasi
your ears off.
naka
Hindi,
2
okay lang.
hours na tayo pero meron pa rin akong nakakuha sa direct
Yeah,
message ko eh.
I'm sorry. Nako, ang sarap ng kwentuhan.
Gusto ko
no?
pa i-play yung music eh.
Oo.
Wala yung ano.
Kulang na ng beer.
Yung nagumugulo sa isip ko eh. Gusto ko pa i-play.
No,
Wag na. Wag na yun.
but when I edit the
Nako.
YouTube, which will Doi, what happens is we typically release on Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
So that the algorithm gets, you know, so that more people
Right,
pick up, because a lot of people don't understand. They think that our kabayans, every Filipino has Facebook. Some Filipinos don't have Facebook because Facebook is not throughout the whole planet.
Right.
You know, it's
Right,
blocked in
right.
some places.
Ah.
That's why we put it on YouTube. So the thing is that don't worry about the video. We will be able to play that in my edit.
Oh yeah. No problems. Yeah. And also, by the way, if you guys, we have a website too that they can download because we just give the MP3 for free anyway, so people could enjoy it. You know, we're releasing an
We
album.
will sell it for you.
Huh?
We will sell it for you.
Oh, it's up to you guys. No problem. Whatever. It's for everybody to enjoy. But yeah. So the website is dominionvisions.com. So it's www.dominionvisions.com. So we're about to release an album on December, actually, and we're almost done. We have a new album coming out, and it's a bit more relaxed, more, you know, because we work with you know, and Julius, you've been to one of our shows, right? Like,
No, and I was gonna say, if you guys watch that Netflix show Karate Kid, because it's always in the Valley in Reseda, they play there, like the real Reseda. So if you guys are locals of that area, you know, please go watch their show. So it's like When are you gonna be in the Netflix Karate Kid?
Yeah, actually, we don't normally. That was our first time playing in the valley because we normally play in downtown, in these kind of areas. But what happened was we also support a like a mental health awareness clinic. So we also do a lot of like stuff like that, like charity shows. So what happened was that was like a mental health awareness night. So yeah, we do support that kind of
The
stuff.
final DM that I got was like, if you play in downtown, do you guys play in venues close to the Earth Cafe?
I haven't been to Earth Cafe. I think I heard of it, but we play in like a Rainbow Room, in Sunset Boulevard, like the Rainbow.
Big time.
It's no. We just asked. We were lucky. We were just asked. We were just invited. It was beside Whiskey Ago, but hopefully we get to better shows like that. On normally we don't play a lot anymore, but when we do, it's a lot of the Gothic clubs. We play in the more of that kind of those kind of venues downtown, various venues. So also in Downey. We play down at Brick's Bar a lot there. Downey, that's a good club. They got metal and rock and more metal and rock audience down there, like and goth people, like they like that kind of place. So yeah, but I think we're gonna have a show on this February next year.
Please share this to your circle, because like I was surprised at the turnout. Like when you guys are really supporting the mental health.
Yeah.
That the Filipino like goth rock scene and that kind of ways, they really support each other.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, that was a bit of a slow night, because we don't normally do that. We usually play like again like on like goth nights and stuff like that. But again, that was like when it's like mental awareness charity shows. We also play there. That night was a bit special because we don't normally play with different genre bands. Like these are great Filipino American bands, by the way. Those guys who played like Monarch, like Cal Rats.
You even had guys
Them
from
Ross.
Intro Voice during that night. I showed up.
Oh yeah. Mike, he's a drummer. He's a great guy. He's a good friend of ours. He plays also for Monarch also. You guys should really check them out too. But yeah,
Sure.
Intro Voice, like Paco, they're friends of ours. They're great guys. Everybody in the rock scene over down here, like they kind of like know each other and support each other. They have their own-
for Philams that don't know, Intro Voice is like one of the top bands in the Philippines back in the day.
Yeah,
so,
I love those guys. Yeah, huge band. They're like superstars and stuff. Like way big. Huge, awesome. Check out their music too if you haven't. If you like OPM Filipino music, like Filipino rock music, yeah, those guys, those are superstars. They're superstars back home too in the Philippines.
Yeah, bro. Any events that you're having, just let us know, and we'll try to help to
And
post it.
and just to notify
Share on
our
our page
viewers,
and stuff. Yep.
Doi is actually gonna appear a second time, but not just a second episode, but on my Halloween special. He gets to talk
Yeah,
about his
that's
paranormal
next week,
experiences.
everybody.
Oh God, I'll try.
That's next
We'll
week.
talk about it more. Yeah. Julian.
Because I recorded that, and so there's gonna be reenactment with
oh my
AI
God.
art. You know what I mean?
Oh, you
By
guys
the way,
gotta get so.
I like our intro on the Aswang episode. What was that 3 days ago?
Yeah.
We had your music, bro. So that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Julius told me like, oh man, I miss the whole thing because I watched the cult play. Damn, those guys are they're
Yeah.
awesome, dude. Fudge, man.
So that's
But,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
were doing. That's what you were doing. That you're watching the cult. That's the
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
why you
it
missed the
was.
episode.
Yeah, I told you, dude, I'm gonna make it like, oh man.
And I got a question. You got to see Peter Murphy during that night?
No. I the night before I was invited to a bar over downtown. It's we used to play there. We played there before. It's a really great bar too. It's small spot. It's really a cool spot called Redwood Bar. And yeah, at that night, Peter Murphy's bandmate, the bassist of Bauhaus, one of the founding members, David J. He's also a DJ, so he DJed there. So I came over and and we just had a quick chat.
I met him 10 years ago here in Orange County.
Oh, David J.
No,
Peter?
Peter Murphy, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're right, because he does live here.
But he
yeah, I
does
never-
really small venues
Shows.
now.
Right.
Like maybe only like 103 very intimate settings.
Yeah. I mean, wow, yeah, he's. I've never had a chance. You're lucky. I never had a chance to meet him. Yeah, he's a god, man. I mean, like they actually they just did a show with Bauhaus, but I think that got cut short. And
Go with me next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Here.
More to come, man. Yeah. Ang sarap nga.
All right, so
Parang
anong
sarap uminom.
final words mo kasi Maano pa ang storya mo? There's still a lot that we didn't
Oh my
cover.
God, yeah. Sorry, guys.
What,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
were you
I
gonna
chewed your
say?
ear off.
Okay.
Puro
Pasensya
away
na.
ka eh. Puro away ka eh.
Oo, alam mo, nako.
Pala away.
Pero hindi. Actually, alam mo, music saved me, you know, and talagang alam mo yun, syempre you're young, napasama ka sa kung saan-saan. Buti na yung martial arts din, you know, things like that. Malaking tulong din syempre, guidance, you know. And
If you could tell like our viewers like kind of like a lesson or anything like that, what would you want to impart as you, the Doi, the person, and also as a musician? What would you impart our viewers?
well, you know, life is short, you know, and do what makes you happy as long as you know you don't crush other people or hurt anybody, you know, and also it's even great if you could use that ability to, you know, if you have a gift of some sort and then use it for you know for charity stuff to make a better world because you know this world nowadays is just too much, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It's just too much, you know, a lot of people getting hurt and all these. It's very sad, and hopefully individually we can contribute, you know, to a better society, to a better world using our gifts. So if may it be art, martial arts, you know, may it be music, you know, connecting people, you know, giving people an escape, you know, or inspiring people. That's I think that's what's most important, that we use our time on earth, you know, our limited time, you know, to share with others, and as cheesy as it sounds, but you know, make it a better place, a more, you know, livable time, I guess.
Yep.
And yeah, that's and peace and love, you know, and man, you know, it's too much conflict now. It's too much
Puff,
fighting.
puff, give.
Oh,
Give.
too much fighting, you know. It's like so sad.
Any last words, Kuya Paul, Kuya Jun?
This is a nice interview too. Very relaxing, actually. I mean, you're the first one who went from childhood all the way to
Yeah, sorry guys.
high school,
And
which
then back
actually
to
are all
childhood,
about
and then back to
fighting.
high school.
Puro away, puro away.
Dami away, no?
Each
Oo.
stage for
and,
away.
and stabbing. How
Oo,
many
naku.
stabbings did we have on the
Kindergarten
show?
pa lang na ano na,
Oo,
nasaksak.
grabe. Oo.
But it was fun. I really want to have that live music, but yeah, Julius will do the editing on that. But I love your music, by the way, and you know, if
Thank
you
you po.
keep playing, bro.
Salamat. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me too.
June,
No, first of all, I was driving, trying to get back home. Tapos sabi ko, shit, naka-on na yung interview. Then I saw your background. I was like, oh man, the background alone. Sabi ko, this is gonna be interesting. Tapos the first thing I heard, the part that I came in on was nasaksak ako ng lapis sa mukha, and I was just like, man, I'm missing out a good story.
Hey, you know, June,
Yeah.
June, you know, are you from Balintawak? That's a nice shirt, man.
Yeah, I run the Balintawak South Florida chapter.
I
Dito-
always wanted to
dito
learn
sa-
Balintawak. Yeah, I've been a great admirer of Balintawak, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are
that's
fast.
too bad. He was just there
I
a week
love
ago or 2 weeks ago.
Doi, I was hanging out with him. I took him to Los Feliz.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
When there's a chance, yeah, would love to. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a
Hey,
sit
you
down
know
and
what?
drink. You know, I don't really drink a lot, but
Definitely.
you know.
Yeah, definitely. Pagbalik ko sa California, we'll definitely kind of do something. Pero
June.
Solid,
Huwag mo
solid.
kakalimutan, Jun, magdala ka ng lapis.
Doi, I actually took him to the wildcard gym to meet Freddie.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to take a picture with Freddie and stuff or whatever, Freddie Roach, and
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. God.
yeah. So
That
that was
is
pretty cool.
awesome.
But no, Doi, it was really awesome hearing your story. Very, very interesting to get your perspective, especially coming in from life experiences on the streets naman talaga. All the activities that happened, the extracurricular activities. Tapos, but that you still found benefit na pumasok sa arnis pa din, and the value that kind of incorporated there. Teka lang pala, may mga tanong pala sa I have private messages here. Let me just kind of
Sure.
may nagsabi pala sugar hiccups. Oh my. Sabayan nila ata Wolfgang, try to ask him. Okay, I'm not sure if that rings a bell.
Yeah. Sugar
Mga-
Hiccups. Yeah, my bandmates, they play in Sugar Hiccups. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
Melody, she's here. Is a great musician. She's a singer of Sugar Hiccups. Parang kumpare kami, mga inaanak ng mga anak namin, and we go way back. Those guys are superstars. Excellent band, beautiful. We have an incestuous band thing going on. Like we borrow members. Our members are members of each other. Sandro.
Okay.
Sandro was the founder of Sugar Hiccups, and he also plays keyboards for us back then, in Dominion.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
Oh.
very we lend each very close. Wolfgang, on the other hand, they're huge rock and roll metal band, huge stars too. We're not we don't really we know each other by band, because we play the same
Yep.
clubs. We're not like
Right.
we don't like hang out or anything like that, but
No.
I remember the closest we've been to was like we shared an interview back in NU 107 in NU 107 is like a rock radio station in the Philippines.
Yep.
I don't think they're around anymore. And we did an interview with Francis Brew. Francis is a guitarist of the Dawn. So he also was doubles as a DJ over down in NU 107. It's a very well-known rock radio station. And Francis is such a great guy, very supportive. So we had an interview with Wolfgang, Dominion, Wolfgang, and then another band called Iconoclast, good friends of ours too.
So that's all the
that's
circles and
Yeah,
activity there.
in closing of this interview, I will say I wish that every single FMA practitioner is a winner in life like Doi is. Because when I was shooting B-roll for our Halloween episode, I was having like he was having his top songs. I saw his missus like singing and knowing the lyrics to every single one of them. So you're a freaking winner in life when your girl is hot and she can sing all the lyrics to all your songs and she's your number one fan. So for all y'all, that should be a goal in life.
Yeah,
that should be life
that's what you call
goals.
the Costa Warriors unite, and absolutely that's the way to get
paano naman tayo, Julius? Wala tayong number.
But just to wrap up the last little bit there, Doi, it's an honor, to basically get to meet you, interview you, and have you on the show. Definitely, pag makapunta ng California, with see Julius again, definitely hit you up and go grab some drinks and hang out. Pero
yes.
no lapis involved, please.
Oo, nako. Buti hindi tayo nabulag eh. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Julius, ikaw na.
Pasara na tayo. June.
Oh. And JB with
Doi.
Salamat. Thank you so much.
Salamat.
Wag ka muna alis. Stop na lang na yung recording.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.